Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Tabletop Role-Playing Theater, where a gathering of a lot of different nerds get together and play a bunch of tabletop role-playing games. Me, and I am the Dungeon Mistress for tonight's episode of D&D 5th Edition, The Land of Dark Dreams. Gathered around me are the players that you have seen, probably, if you're watching this far into the series, but if you have not, I'm going to highly give you a recommendation to join us on our Twitch channels, Discords, and YouTube channels, where you can catch all of these seasons' previous episodes of The Land of Dark Dreams, in addition to our other streams, like Cult Divinity Lost and Domains of Dread, and some Pathfinder 2nd Edition with Scald's Tale, all of which are run by fantastic DMs and have even greater players. Really recommend you go do that. Do it. Before we get into the game, I just want to put out a real quick announcement to everybody. This is more to everybody who is watching. One of my favorite tenets as a DM is saying that there is no wrong way to play pretend. That means that the way you run your table is awesome. The way I run my table is awesome. Equally are both valid, equally are both good. But that does not mean that I'm going to tell you how to run your table in the same way that you should not tell me how to run my table. So if you're out there on Twitch and you're out there sending emails telling people how to play their game, probably not the best thing to do. Stop it. We'll always love good advice, but let us play our game. I don't think that's anything else I have for announcements. Oh, we have fantastic new artwork done by Carmen, who's the rest of the name I do not have, but I believe if I ask one of these players to post her information, she will do so. Where you can
I will post it in Twitch chat.
It'll be posted in Twitch chat, where you'll be able to see the great artwork that she has done for our group as a snapshot of Miss Fortune, sans our latest joinee, who we will get one done, maybe as a gift later. Depends if we like her or not. Do we like her enough?
I like her.
I like her. I don't know if I like her enough to bring Christmas early again this year.
We'll see. Other than that, you guys got anything?
Carmen is at Porzio Art or Porzio Art on Twitter, so that's at PORZIO_art on Twitter. She does great work.
Yes, she does. She even have one of me in there. And I'm not even a player. All right, I think that's it. I think we're ready to start into today's session. Let's get started with Land of Dark Dreams. Welcome back. So, where we last left off. Miss Fortune, in your ongoing war against the forces of the Red Hand, have been allying with the various factions throughout the Adanian Vale. You have been harrying the forces of the Red Hand where you could find them. And though you were unable to save the town of Orchards River, your actions thus far have had an impact in the war effort. You've gathered allies in the form of the Hammerfist Holds, a dwarven mercenary mining outfit. You have one at least token support from the elvish factions of the Tiri Couture. One of their champions has promised to join you later when Crimson Witch falls under siege, and they have gifted you with owls to travel about the Edanian Vale swiftly. In the course of your investigations and your attempt to war against them, you discovered a phylactery belonging to an entity called the Ghost Lord. Though a great debate ensued on how to deal with this phylactery, ultimately you tracked it, its user, and the great beast known as Varanthian to a lair hidden somewhere far out in the desert Thorncrawl. You navigated through the crawl before encountering the lair of the Ghost Lord itself, where in a great battle you slew one of the last great Worm Lords, Ulwai Stormcaller, and claimed her staff for yourself. However, Varanthian was a little bit too much for one of you, and once again Roman found himself on the brink of death, only to be rescued by the Staff of Life held by Cerulean. Weakened but alive, Reynard had a conversation with the Ghost Lord, who revealed that his name was Brywin Thalas, an ancient druid of the Dawnspire, one of its founders from many ages ago. He told you that he was cursed into this current form through some sort of inherent powerful magic resulting around the Second Calamity. Though he was vague about how it actually occurred, it seemed legitimate enough, at least on the surface. Additionally, during the course of that conversation, he told Reynard a little secret about the strengths of the Dawnspire relics that you have encountered thus far, that each of them and their powers are tied to the understanding of the ideals and histories of those who crafted them. And for that, he unlocked the first Dawnspire relic for you in the Staff of Urakel Zarl. Though Whisper remains still dormant, you now stand on the precipice at the end. And as you are currently still within the Ghost Lord's lair, inside the lion's teeth, what would you all like to do?
Well, let's get somewhere because I need to go to bed really bad.
Yes, you're looking rather sickly.
Yeah, he'll kind of like look at his hair. He's like, it's not as shiny. It's faded a bit, but I'm alive.
You're still very rainbowy.
Well, I mean, it's kind of all-encompassing, so it's, but yeah, sleep.
Well, rest is the best medicine, and I agree with that. Plus, the farther away from this humble place, it'll probably be the better.
I don't think any danger will come to us while we're here, unless you really do insist on sleeping in the desert. Did he say get out?
No, but let's not overstay our welcome.
Fair enough.
I mean, I wouldn't like if strangers just decide to sleep in my house either.
23 is going to go to the edge of the teeth and call out for Annika and crew. Annika and crew.
Juniper!
As you let out the whistle, the signal that was given to you by the Tiri Couture, a moment passes and another before you hear a and they all kind of float about on the teeth outside, kind of attempting to perch. They're large creatures and have a hard time squeezing in, but it takes them a second. They do get in.
Also, take note that Beth just confirmed that 23 can whistle. It's canon.
Pre-recorded sound.
Don't wrap your head around that one.
He just records it.
Bernard, how does this Behir make lightning?
We rolled I think we rolled a 25 and a 20 on our nature check. Will we have any idea about that?
Magic.
What's an Arcana check?
The Behir is electrical in its own nature, so somewhere within its body is likely an organ or a piece of it that creates the charge.
Reynard will share that information and say, it's a good idea considering previously we've killed these dragons. We've taken parts of them, but we didn't take anything that may have been inherently useful, a trinket as it was. We left scales, we left our hearts behind. These are powerful magical creatures, and this is an idea. I was considering this myself, where perhaps we should take some parts of this that would be inherently useful in construction of other things to bolster magics or do what we can with it. I'm sure if we could find something, Kevin, if we would just try to dissect this creature, though I'm not sure how skillful I would be at that. Hopefully you'll be superior to myself.
Well, would you like me to give it a shot considering the electric nature of it? I'm sure I'd probably have a good chance of being able to get something out of it.
23, I think this might require a more delicate hand.
I'm going to go stand over there.
I guess we survive. I'm not great at that.
Your boy is.
I was about to say, I will guide whoever.
I think the more delicate hand is trying to nap in the corner, so you might be the next best choice, 23.
I have trust that 23 can be delicate when he desires to.
Do you remember the eggs? I remember the eggs.
Well, perhaps one of you who actually knows something about these things could tell me what specifically I should be doing.
I'll come over and I will assist you and give you guidance since we're deliberately doing this. So you get a D4.
I imagine guidance is not really a spell. It's more of, now you want to cut here, and then a little bit left. And then
It's like
backseat driving.
Yeah, basically, I'm.
Deity pulled up the WikiHow, and they're like, "All right."
That's exactly. I was literally gonna be like, "My god says that you should really do it this way."
When cutting along the elbow, make sure that you do not insert longer than 5 centimeters, otherwise you will disrupt the clavicle.
That's exactly what she's saying.
Make a survival check.
Hold on, wait. I'm going to use enhance ability on 23 also.
Oh.
Because I have that prepared, apparently.
You have enhance ability?
I do.
Holy crap.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you, which one?
There's so many buffs.
Wisdom is survival.
Yeah, which one is wisdom? Hold on.
I think it's Owl's wisdom.
Owl's wisdom.
Yeah, Owl's wisdom. I can't read.
Does that just give him? Yeah, that just gives him
advantage.
Oh, I was already helping you though.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, now he has magic.
Now he has magic.
Now I have magic help.
And guidance.
All right.
Well,
Waffy,
this lasts for an hour.
Double natural ones.
All we're
Double
missing
natural
now is
ones.
inspiration.
Wait,
Bard? Okay.
We had a bard.
We have a bard.
I can hex him.
We have a bard.
We do. I think this is enough buffs, though.
Yeah. All right.
Really? You're gonna tempt that fate?
I am going to make my check. For the love of God, if this is double natural ones, I'm going to walk away.
At least you'll have a D4. Oh dear.
14.
Where's the D4?
Okay.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
4.
You're at least getting a 15 out of it.
Only you'd been inspired.
You sure you don't want to be inspired?
18. I will take an 18.
I can
Unless I
give
want
inspiration as well. I was going to have Core basically checking up on Roman, though.
Oh, okay. You're doing great.
Really put your back into it.
I guess I should probably be dealing with that. I am a cleric. I'm a terrible cleric.
You're both awful healers.
I just started.
Thanks.
So.
You do great, Cerulean.
There is a coil, almost like a fantasy Behir Tesla coil, in its tail. You actually noticed as it shot the lightning that the charge started from its back, rolled up its body along a series of very thin veins that ended out of its mouth is where it was discharged. You are able to extricate the veins from the coil, each, acting as a conduit.
Can I eat it?
You don't have a stomach.
Or a mouth.
I have a mouth.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does it open and close, or is it just noise?
I mean, I'm just saying, if I ate this, I'd probably get like super lightning powers. I'm just saying.
I don't think that's how it works, 23.
Yes, let's not go putting that somewhere where it shouldn't be, but if you want, later on, we can see if there's any way for us to maybe hook it up to you in some way.
I get a battery pack.
I don't know how comfortable I'll be looking about attaching this to your core, considering I don't know exactly how your function operates, but
What about
I
me?
honestly don't.
it's... Sorry, core! Other terminology.
We have 2 pun names.
Oh no.
But seeing how we might be able to hook this up to you if we can't find out the uses for it, or if it seems like it'd be useful, we can look into that in our downtime.
Well, how long would this be good for? I'm just out of curiosity.
That largely depends. It is still organic in nature. It is largely organic, isn't it? This isn't like,
Yes.
metallic filaments that have been just sucked. Okay. I don't know. Perhaps it will decay over time, or perhaps we can just use it to create something that maybe won't decay. Depends on if we can use magic to preserve it. There's lots of things here that I honestly don't have an idea. Kevin might know more.
We may want to consider seeing if there are any alchemists at the Dwarves Kingdom that would like this. I very much doubt it will last a Crimson Witch unless we have some sort of magic to keep it good.
Are dwarves generally good at alchemy? That doesn't seem to be in their skill set.
I mean, I imagine dwarves have alchemists.
Are they good?
If they do have any, I doubt they might still be there, considering the boar party that just marched out. They may have taken those with them. When we left the mountains, Talonwalk Mountains, about how many dwarves were actually left? Because you said that a majority of them were gone at that point.
There's probably about a third left of the entire population.
Damn.
So, potentially, yeah.
Well, in that case, I'm going to very carefully fold up the veins, I guess, coil, and I'm going to open my chest and keep them in there for safekeeping.
It's hard. Like, it's like trying to wrap a copper wire.
23, just put them in the bag of holding.
But I don't want to lose them.
Then the bag of holding is the best spot for it. To lose them, the bag would have to be destroyed, or it would have to be put into another bag of holding.
But what if I get, like, superpowers, though?
You are more likely to get a
Fine, you can put them in the
smell
bag
of
of
decay.
holding. I will put them in the bag of holding reluctantly.
Oh, did we miss that?
The operator, I think we lost you from the Discord.
Oh no, I'm the dungeon mistress now.
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So how do you
The
want to
overlays! They've gone weird! All right,
I'm
Tempest.
still Kevin.
Oh no.
Tempest is DMing. Anyway, carry on.
All right. Tempest, tell us what we're doing next.
I mean, it sounds like you've got a coil of veins in your new bag. Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy.
And
They're very hard, almost like you're trying to wrap up a copper wire.
Okay.
They're more sinewy than... They are organic, but they're pliable.
Okay. Kind of like cartilage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
With the nature check, could I approximate how long I think this might last without being properly treated?
Make a nature check.
Natural 1.
Tempest, do you know general repose?
Actually, I believe I do have that spell. Let me check real fast.
That could be used to keep these fresh.
Oh, no, I don't think I prepared it today.
We could probably use it tomorrow.
And I don't
with
have
that
it at all.
with that nature check, well, between gentle repose and a little bit of natural life, you could probably get some length out of it.
I don't have gentle repose yet. It's a level 2 spell.
Damn it.
Sorry.
With that nature check, it would probably last you a couple of months. It's not quite flesh. It's not going to erode in your hands over the next couple of weeks. It'll last a while.
We
What
can
about-
treat this. All we need to do is find a proper way to treat it and increase its longevity. Then you can treat anything and use it. I mean, after all, look at leather and what it's created from. Just gotta figure out how to do that.
Okay.
It would probably be fine. Anywho,
What's next?
is there anything else we need to be doing here, or should we be on our way back?
Do we want to take its teeth and claws?
I mean, I have a nice little collection of teeth going on. I'll take a tooth. Oh,
Quick shark's
lovely.
teeth.
Pops
There's
right
layers.
off. Ew.
Was there anything electrical about the creature's bite?
No.
No.
We blew a lot of the lightning out of it. No, that was with its tail. It spun and yeah.
Well, do we want to go down this creepy staircase, or do we want to leave?
I think it would be better to leave.
Yeah.
Let's not tempt fate.
Yeah, I choose.
As
that
grateful
to
as
say
I'm
words.
sure Eurykil Zarl is for getting his phylactery back.
Yes, by the way, we
Nobody
need to
wants
have a
to have us for
conversation about
dinner.
that.
A time and a place, and that time and place is not inside of his lair.
Yes, agree. Well, come on, Renard. I know how much you enjoy hugging me from behind.
I will help Roman to
I'm not sure
the
how
owl.
I feel about you phrasing that, 23.
He's either getting wittier, or he just truly didn't know what he just did there.
I enjoyed watching Blake's brain just break for a second.
It's like, did 23 just say that?
All right.
Damn.
I hop
So
on.
uncharacteristic.
I know.
That was a me thing.
Let's
hop on
go
Annika.
before this goes on.
We're flying away. Let's go, Juniper.
Mounting the owls, Juniper, Annika, and the rest, they take off into the air. Where are you guys going?
Sounds like
The,
I think we're back to Crimson Witch at this point.
To Crimson, which is
Yeah.
a 3-day travel.
What about the dwarves? Didn't we want to stop for alchemists potentially?
Do we want to get gunpowder from the dwarves?
Dude, just
That's
get a lot of money.
That's a Kevin thing. Tempest wouldn't know what the fuck to do with gunpowder.
That's up to you, Kevin. Well, I don't think any of us have any use for it, so it's up to you to decide on how it will be used and whether or not how much we need.
Well, do we have any plans for defending Crimson Witch?
I mean, I planned on shooting things with my bow.
I plan on fighting things.
I had some minor plans, but that would depend on what we can find in Crimson Witch and also what exactly Crimson Witch looks like when we get there. It's hard to make battle plans for defense when you don't know the layout of the town.
Indeed.
That is accurate.
I planned on potentially trying to figure that out when we got there. Like, to see what we have to work with.
Still, having some stuff that can go boom doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I can say boom really loudly.
Don't think that's what they meant.
Ooh, I can as
I
well.
know it. That was an attempt at humor.
You know, you were better when you were insulting Renard a little bit. Well, it wasn't an insult.
That it really wasn't insulting Renard. It was just.
It
kind of-
wasn't.
Anyways, we're flying. Yeah. Right.
Just actually, let's just go ahead and ask this question so it can help us decide. If we were to stop over at the dwarves and just purchase things, like how out of the way are we going? Are we talking like half a day? Or are we talking a full day?
It's kind of on the way, but not quite. So it would add about a half a day's travel to you if you were in and out inside of an hour.
That's nothing.
Kevin, where are we sitting on days?
Oh,
No,
we
my
have
count should be-
22 days left.
22. Yes.
We have the
Time.
20
We have time. If we
We
want.
have the time, indeed. Is it, what time of day is it? Like, what time would we get to the dwarves? Like,
It would be
At-
evening on this day because you've already traveled half a day over.
okay, so we'd probably end up staying the night again.
I think half a day is well within our reason. We can take that day to rest someplace safe and not have to worry about camping out on the owls. After
Mm.
this fight, a good day to rest would be, a safe place to rest would be well within reason.
I'm not super keen on resting random places anymore after that Scather fellow.
Oh, really? Now you don't like Scather?
No, I don't like Scather. I didn't like him at all. He threw an
I
arrow
know,
back
but-
and hit me.
He did.
Never mind. I'll let
That
you.
was quite athletic of him.
It was. It was
Why can't
annoying.
you do that, Tempest?
I don't know, but I really wish I could.
You should work on that.
Yeah, shoot harder. No, he can't catch it.
It's like, I don't know what shooting hard has to do with catching arrows.
So we're stopping at the dwarves.
Yes.
Yes.
I will say that as you arrive, majority of them are gone, including their inventory.
Oh shit.
Oh, including the powder.
That means they took it with them. That's fine.
That's true. It'll be there when we get there.
We
Unless
can
they sprinkled-
pester them further.
They sprinkled behind them for good luck.
All right.
How they find their way home.
Tempest. Actually, before we
Yes.
leave,
I think we're staying
you
the
go-
night.
would you know of any questionable individuals here that might have some?
I mean, are you asking if I know about the black market here?
Do you have any crime friends here?
Yes, that's what you're asking.
Yes.
I looked for them last time I was here, and I didn't find anyone, but
All right.
I've never been here personally. I only know names and rumors.
Well. No, I misunderstood then. Never mind.
I mean, if you want me to look again, we're here
No, it's-
overnight. I mean, if you want me to do it, now's the time.
It's yours, if you want.
I don't need anything. You seem to have an idea.
If we're looking for more powder, then,
You're looking
Yes.
for more powder.
well, I'm trying to assist Kevin in his search. So, if there's none that are here legally, then possibly.
I mean, I could potentially try looking again. Maybe I'll take some help this time. Although, I'll look at 23 and I just remember how he likes to yell out, and I'm just thinking to myself, he's gonna
I can be
just
quiet when I want.
You're just going to yell out looking for the black market, aren't you?
No, I won't. I have some intelligence, not much.
I mean,
If I was to put a number on it, I would say
23.
give or take 7 intelligence.
That's a fair number. But here's the thing.
From above, the hand of God slaps 23. Do not do that again.
How about this? Core,
Yes.
would you like to go on a fact-finding mission?
Oh, that sounds like a whole lot of fun.
Yes, we're going to go explore the city.
And look for the black market. That's what you're after?
Well, we're not going to say it out loud, but yes.
Yes, I gathered that.
I knew you would. Much love,
Wait.
23.
Core and Tempest pat each other on the back because of how clever they are.
We have smart intelligences. We would never put a number on them, though.
He says, as he says, smart intelligence.
I was gonna comment on that, but I'm like, no, let's not be that
We
guy.
have smart intelligence.
That's why I'm sitting here chuckling really hard. Okay, if I wanted to search with core, what would that be? With
Make an
my
investigation check with your charisma modifier at advantage.
Okay. I've got to do a lot of things to make that happen.
Many much things.
Yeah, so if anyone else wants to do it, I'll get stuff going on here.
Yeah.
You said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Plus
Well,
your charisma.
My charisma is 0, so...
But
I also don't-
advantage.
There is
Just-
that.
Yeah, just roll flat d20.
Oh, I guess I could just do that.
2d20.
Nice.
Okay.
15!
Through the course of your investigations, it's less black market, more what they had left behind that was used for regular housekeeping.
Oh.
What does one
Okay.
use black powder for housekeeping, you may be asking?
I was asking that, yes.
You know, rodent extermination.
Yeah.
Please continue, Beth.
I have to assume it's a Billy Mays dwarf that comes around and says this. Boom! Those stains are gone.
There are a few minor craftsmen left behind, crazy inventors that are not exactly Victor level, but definitely the questionable types who it may appear that the dwarves probably were not comfortable working with.
Oh,
Those sound like my
great.
sort of people.
It's basically Kevin, dwarven form.
With,
Okay.
one eye that looks that way, another eye that looks that way.
What if we
Sneak up
attach
on 'em.
bombs to pigeons?
Oh! I guess I try and negotiate for some black powder.
You are going to be robbed is the short answer to that.
I kind of figured it would be the case. How much are we talking?
At least 1,000 gold a barrel.
Holy.
I'll look at Cora. Do we need it that bad? They're already taking some to the city.
Well, see, here's my thought. Supposedly this red hand has a bunch of dragons, so there's already going to be explosions. Do we need more?
You know, you make a very good argument for why I don't want this stuff near me.
Why did we store all the barrels of gunpowder in the orphanage? Why did you think that was a good idea?
That was teetering over a pit of acid.
Damn orphans.
I'm just gonna look at Cora and be like, unless you think we can get a better deal, I don't think we need this.
I don't think
Less,
we need
less
it
than
either.
a land of dark dreams, more a land of incompetent terrain design.
Yep.
The orphans
Sounds
probably
funny.
had it coming.
Awful people. What
No one
were
will
you
miss them.
saying- What were you
Bad
saying,
things
Cora?
never happen to good people.
Did you say probably not?
Yeah, I
The
said
answer
probably
is
not.
probably not.
Yeah.
Not for 1,000. Also, it's explosions.
Yeah, no. Is there anything else we found, or was it just the black powder?
If you were specifically looking for black powder, that's what you found.
Okay, just checking.
Since we're probably going to be, since it's already night here and we're all spending our time we can, Reynard is going to look around and see if there's any connection to the conservatory here, if there's any arcane study, any libraries, anything that might fit that bill.
Sure. Answer is no. It is. They don't have them. It's exclusively a mining mercenary group. There is no conservatory element here.
I was just considering, I figured, but if they had any form of enchantment going on here, I figured they must have some connection to the arcane. But if they're not enchanting, they're not enchanting.
The dwarves in their xenophobia don't truly trust the conservatory. One wonders why.
So they don't have books either? That's fine.
All right. As the day will pass, if there's anything else.
2 questions. 1,
32.
what is the cost of rooms? And 2, is it group rooms or singular rooms?
They pay by
Well-
person.
If you're, so Roland was probably gonna hang around Roman a little bit more often than not, just make sure that he's recovering okay.
Kind of just walking around mostly with his eyes closed, but he's like after he pays for his room and goes up, and he's like he'll turn around the group. Are we doing like group rooms or are we doing like our own rooms? How's that working? Huh?
We pay
I'd
per
figure-
person.
I mean, I'll pay for half for yours. I mean, if there's like a 2-bedroom, I was hoping I could like at least make sure you're okay.
Oh, I'm just gonna
2
sleep
silver a
lot.
night per person.
Okay, so is it just the room? Like as far as the rooms, are they just like a
It's per
singular?
person. As many
Nice.
rooms as you want. 2 rooms, 2 people per person.
Okay, well,
It's less of an inn, more of a not a hotel, a hostel. You're sleeping you're paying for the bed.
Okay. Two silver, you said?
2 silver a person. Yes.
I'm going to try this lag down thing, see how it works.
oh, it's quite.
It's your 425-pound metal frame. Just cot is flexing, but it still holds.
300, but no need to call my
actually-
weight up.
I actually find this interesting because Cora would actually go for the rigmarole of like getting into bed, pulling blankets around her. Not that it matters, she just does it.
There is
I'll
some
just be like-
intrinsic part of you that actually enjoys it, the feeling of
Yeah.
being all bound up.
Yep.
I imagine Cora's probably like the person who wraps himself up, not just blanket, but like burritoed.
That's a little close to home, but sure. I am a burrito.
Feel personally attacked.
How dare you attack my sleeping choices?
Yeah.
I see
While
it's okay.
while Tempest and Core are gone looking for stuff from sketchy people, Roman's gonna go to his bed, but he's gonna pull out a bag of ball bearings, and he's just gonna look at it. He's like, I'm too tired. He's actually like, hey, 23, you still up?
Yes.
Do you want to do me a favor because I died yesterday or today?
Yes.
He said casually.
he'll jingle the
Yes.
bag of ball bearings. He's like, "Can you put this wherever Tempest is sleeping?"
I knew
Yes.
it!
He'll just put the bag. He's like, "Thanks, big man." And he'll just go to bed.
Oh, I should also ask, Renard, did you pass off the staff to, or the other staff to Cerulean?
Yeah, he gave you the staff of electricity and stuff back when we were still at that cave.
Cool, just making sure. I'll spend a little bit to attune to that then.
Staff of Storm Clouds.
That one.
Nice.
Magic.
All right.
Also, fun fact, I just calculated 23's weight because they have a thing for that for Warforged. I weigh 310 pounds, not 400 some. Thank you very much.
He's sensitive.
I'm sensitive about my weight.
Plus 1 pound for the
23s at
ball
least.
bearings.
Plus your equipment.
Ah, shit. That's enough. That's okay. So upwards of
Do you
upwards
put
of
your
500.
equipment in your bed with you when you go to sleep, Beth?
I might.
There's
You don't know
23.
You don't know 23's life.
You know, when I get into a con, I pull my backpack and my weapons, and I just set them on top of me, and I cuddle them all night long.
He doesn't know how to
make sure you don't get robbed.
23
There
lays
was
down.
To be fair, if there was someone who does that, it would be 23 because he doesn't know how.
I sleep with all my stuff on me.
Renard
Yeah.
uses an alarm spell. You know that spell he's always cast every time he slept anywhere. That's how he
Do
trusts he's not going to get
have a
robbed.
I will sneak over to Tempest's bed at about 3 a.m.
Sneak. Make a stealth check at advantage.
yeah.
My past perception
Hell
is
yeah.
16, so I don't know if that would wake me up.
Fuck you. No, it doesn't.
All right, what are you trying to do? I'm sorry, are you wearing heavy armor? Or no, Connor, you don't. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, carry on.
I'm unarmored. I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. Anyways, I am going to strategically put them like not only to where I think he's going to like swing over, put them in the morning, but also like under his shoes as well. So as soon as he tries to grab his shoes, they like roll away from him, or they're just difficult to get.
Make a sleight of hand check at advantage.
This is being done like somebody who has done this before.
No.
In the
The
army?
doesn't.
Who would dare?
No. Never. 17.
Oh, so close!
Roman has taught him well.
You carefully, for being of your size, you were remarkably delicate about doing this. In fact, you lay specifically 23 at his feet.
There's peace in this. Anyways, I go to bed.
During the course of the night, Reynard, as you are sleeping, you feel your alarm go off. And as you open your eyes and look around, there is almost, you'd swear it was a cat for how much it weighs, but staring you right in the face, on your chest, is a very large lizard creature. It's kind of reddish in figure. Let me see if I can get you a picture for it.
Lizards.
Behold the 8th character of our party.
This this campaign needed more lizards. You can never have too many lizards.
And thus we begin our zoo.
Yeah, call him Mr. Mlem. You know,
Nah.
he just licks his eyeballs.
Nah.
Darn it.
While you're finding that, when I wake up, I'd like to do something before we leave, so don't let me forget.
Forget it.
No, I don't want to forget.
Gosh darn, I lost it in the whole list of stuff I had.
I assume I'm gonna fall on my bloody face. when I
Regardless,
wake up.
Renard just kind of stares at it for a second like, okay, either you better be a spy for the Red Hand and I'm going to blow the living shit out of you, or you better have a damn good excuse for being there sitting on my chest.
It just kind of looks at you for a moment, and then it just drops a mouse just boop, right on your chin.
It's so cute.
He will mumble something in Draconic along the lines of, I'm not hungry. Just kind of,
It looks
The road.
up as if it understands.
he will take the mouse and just kind of drop it on the floor.
As it leaps off, and there's a little of flame that comes out of its mouth before it eats it.
I look around. What time is it right now?
2 o'clock.
Right before my
Really
shenanigans
early.
begins.
So I don't notice 23 setting up anything on Tempest that
No.
I wouldn't warn Tempest for anyways.
Of
You'll just kind of look down at it, and he'll continue saying Draconic. All right. Is there an explanation for this? I'm serious. I don't.
Do you have a bag on you or near you?
He has a backpack.
It just seems to be ignoring you and kind of pulls the backpack open and starts rifling through it. You hear chink, chink, chink as it looks like pulling at coins. You hear some shuffling around as it clanks around some utensils. It's making a noise inside your bag.
He's going to reach down, basically just like try and take it by the scruff of the neck, like you would a cat that is just misbehaving, and kind of just try and lift it up and turn it to him. All right, you're going to stop doing that.
As you hold it up, it's got like one of your gems in its mouth. Just
What are you doing in my things?
still has the gem in your mouth, still just staring at you.
I'm going to try and remove the gem from its mouth.
Much like playing tug of war with a dog.
Radar probably knows what this is, but I'm gonna make a nature check anyways to see if I can identify this.
Sure.
Good job, Bernard.
It is a dragon, sort of. It is actually a pseudo dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You'd swear they were cats were they not dragons. They're about the size of a cat, mannerisms of a cat with a little bit of avarice akin to a dragon.
Okay. I look around. Is anyone here awake? Is anyone paying attention? Is there any inclination of where this thing came from?
Warforged don't sleep.
They're just off.
I was actually going to say, because I don't really need... Actually, no, I'm super hurt. Never mind, I am resting. I forgot I took damage.
I'm not going
Tempest
to bother
is
anybody.
zoned out.
Actually, he'll just sit there. All right, you have to give me something here. I don't know what to do. Do you have a name? Seriously.
You feel less words, but more of an image in your mind. You understand that this creature is called Tamaray. You understand that for whatever reason, it has adopted you.
No. No.
I feel like Renard's not a pet person.
I'll give you one guess as to what pets he's never had in his life. The answer is all of them.
You have been chosen. And the more you think about it, your understanding of dragons and their nature, pseudo-dragons are very picky about people that they bond to. But that bond is something that once they choose it, they are yours and you are theirs. There is never a rhyme or reason. People that have hunted them or bred them have never been able to successfully bond them. But here you are.
It's kind of like the riders in Aragorn. That's what it reminds me of.
All right. It's too late at night to be dealing with this. You stay here. You behave. I will deal with this in the morning. And I'm going to take basically just one of my bags of rations and just pile it out on the floor.
And he'll start gnawing at it.
I'm going to attempt to lay back down and go to sleep.
Okay. So, in
Quick
order
question.
of events the next morning. Oh, sorry.
Because I kind of forgot about it. Because I can still see and hear as normal, would I've seen 23 walking over with ball bearings?
It's dark.
Okay.
What's your passive perception?
Low. 13, so yeah, low.
Yeah, no.
I think I'm the highest.
Okay. As the next morning rolls around, the first thing everybody hears is the sound of "Phoom, shit, bam" of somebody waking up in the morning and eating shit.
Can I make a dexterity save?
You were groggy waking up.
It can be a disadvantage. Just
No, you're not taking damage, but you're. And as a loud clash and bang wakes everybody up, startling.
I knew Roman bought the ball bearings, didn't I? That happened last time.
I don't remember.
23 just.
I think I was
23.
there. I think. Go ahead.
23 fist bumps Roman.
He's asleep. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I remember that I know, because I'm pretty sure I complained about the ball bearings. As I was right to.
What?
I'm immediately gonna cast Levitate on Roman, just like, you asshole!
As he slowly floats out of his bed, he's like, I didn't put him there.
It's not really gentle. I throw you up to the ceiling.
He's that tired.
Additionally, Reynard, Tamaray has taken every gold coin, every shiny utensil, every trinket in your bag, placed them outside of it, and has made a little nest as it is curled up in them.
Oh, you are barking up the wrong tree.
You all now notice there is a cat-sized lizard dragon. Sound asleep.
Approximately 500 gold worth of platinum just laying on the floor.
Upon
it's
seeing this, Core would make sure that nothing has come off of her in the night and become part of the nest.
Looks like it's only Renard stuff.
Oh, good. Excellent.
That's nice. It's also very windy in here at the moment because of me.
That is a strange cat you have found, Renard.
It's not a cat, it's a dragon.
That is a strange dragon you have found, Renard.
Where did it come? Where did it come from?
I don't know. I think it might be a spy of the Red Hand, and if it keeps taking my stuff, I might have to kill it.
It looks
It's
up.
a spy, that would
And
be prudent.
Renard, as you say that, you feel a little bit of sadness from it.
He just kind of looks down at it. Don't you give me that. You woke me up at 1 a.m. Fine, I'm not going to kill you. Please don't get my stuff lost. I need this.
It almost seems to encircle it like it's guarding it jealously.
But I can't carry it like this. It has to stay in the bag.
Like a poncho thing, and you just let it lay on your coins as you carry it like a papoose.
A fanny pack for it.
A fanny pack for the dragon.
Kevin's just going to lean over towards whoever's closest to him and be like, does anyone hear it making responses, or is Renard talking to himself?
He does
I
seem to
think
be
he's
talking
talking
to
to
himself.
What? What? Oh,
Renard,
there's a
are you
dragon.
crazy now?
Not the last time that I checked.
23 will walk over to the small lizard.
Looks up at you.
I will crouch down. And in Draconic,
As
I
you
will
crouch
say,
down to it, much like a cat that's greeting a new person, it huddles protectively around Reynard's gold and platinum.
I'm not touching him. I just look
There
down at
is
it.
there is a tail on it with a little scorpion stinger.
Okay. I say, in Draconic, are you a spy of the Red Hand?
Stares back at you very intently. You feel the emotion of anger as you accuse it.
I like him. He can stay.
I'll trade him for Roman right now.
No, we need Roman.
They're very valuable to the group.
Do I
Wait,
recognize...
who felt the emotion? Me or Roman? Or sorry, Renard.
You did 23.
What was that, Sean?
Do I recognize this sort of creature?
Make a nature check.
Not good at
Also,
that, but give
I
it
just
a
want to
shot.
point out the regularity of Renard always failing nature check rolls
Nice.
about dragons.
15.
As a pseudo dragon.
You know as
Oh.
much as Reynard.
They're
That's,
actually traditionally good.
That's not a That's not bad. That's a pseudo dragon.
This is a DM question. Are they good regardless of like chromatic versus metallic?
They're not. They're party. They're not affiliated.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I suppose as long as you treat it well, it'll treat you well.
Also, apparently it knows what the red hand is, and it doesn't like being accused of being a red hand. So I'd say it's pretty cool with us. Congrats on the new friend, Renaud.
Good enough for me.
It is very odd how it just sort of came in out of nowhere, though.
I'm
Yes.
sure it was hiding in a cupboard or something.
I'm sure it was hiding in a cupboard or something as well.
That makes
Actually, the
perfect
Renard, the image you get is you've been being followed. You can almost feel like it was the images. It watches you and flies behind the owls from a distance. It watches you as you were battling in the swamps.
So Radar will look at it and say, wait. So you've been following me the whole time?
It doesn't respond. It just seems to look at you like a cat.
Okay. All right. We don't have time to waste on this.
It does do one thing.
What is
You
that?
get the impression of judging, as if it was judging you.
You're judging me. You woke me up in the middle of the night. You've taken all of my things out of my bag, and you're judging me.
Kevin, I think he's crazy.
Renaud,
He's
are
having
you okay?
conversations with himself.
All right. Torty, you heard it spoke to you in your mind. All right. It's not. It communicates.
Yes, it communicated anger.
But
I
did
get
it,
angry sometimes too.
did it speak though?
No, it said
Judging me.
it was like, hey, you know when you do something stupid and I look at you like I want to murder you?
Are you talking to me? Because I don't do stupid.
Yes, I'm
things.
talking to you.
I don't do stupid things though.
So you know when someone does something stupid and then I look at them like I want to murder them?
Like you look at me sometimes.
Yes, like I look at you sometimes. Anyways, it's like that, except you can feel it all over the place.
It's a very murderous face.
It's personified anger.
Well, as much as I'd love to sit here and dedicate more time to this, we do have a schedule to keep. I'm going to. Renard will just give it a little scritch under the chin, trying to appease it.
Oh, adorable.
Also, Tempest, could you lower Roman down, please?
No, not until he learns his lesson.
We have to go, though.
Has he learned his lesson?
I'm real bad at learning things.
I'm going
That is
to.
why you keep dying.
23 is going to go over and start picking up the ball bearings, and he's going
I'll
to be
just-
counting
I'll just let him down after that. I was like, what after that, Ben? I don't want you to catch fire.
4, 5,
Fire would be
6,
bad for Roman right now.
7,
So,
8.
Renard, for the purposes of this, you can now actively control Tamaray as a familiar. It operates as a familiar and familiar actions.
Whee!
It can be summoned and unsummoned. It can be all of the other traits, but it does not. And its current traits are available to you in the character sheet.
Okay.
I just figured that I'll summon Roderick and I'll feed him a few rations.
Excuse me for 1 minute. I've chased a cat before he eats plastic.
Okay.
No, Calvin, bad Calvin.
Hey, cats.
Okay, Roman, have you learned a lesson?
20, 21, 22, 23.
23.
Hey!
Wait a minute. 23.
Specifically
Why are there 23 ball bearings down there? 23.
Because I thought it'd be ironic. Here you go. Here's your ball bearings. And I
I'm
give them
sorry. This was you.
I look at the bag
I mean,
and
you-
like there's 1,000 of these.
I know. I thought there was poetry in it.
So you left it like a calling card?
Well,
And you gave him these, Roman.
He's Batman. Or
He
a Batman
acquired
villain.
See, I think it's rather
Hey.
funny.
I'm going to
Hey.
I'm going to raise you up, Roman, to the ceiling and let levitate fall. And I'm just like, and down you go.
I will
How
catch
high are
Roman.
the ceilings?
Well, doesn't he just float down harmlessly?
He does, unfortunately.
Still in the position of sleeping. He's too tired to try and manipulate himself out of this.
Just like, I wish I could do more with that.
All right. That's enough fun this morning. Enough distractions. We should not waste any more time. Crimson Witch needs us.
The Crimson Witch thing.
Do they?
We certainly will.
We could just
I'm
hang on
going
to
to start gathering up my coins to put them back. I guess I'll start putting it back into the small bag I carry them in. Actually, the multiple small bags, as I divvy mine up.
Amaray will actually help as he just
Aww.
and as they're all in, he will. Almost like he dives in, but you feel him vanish as he.
You're going to hide in the bag. You're going to stay.
Door.
All right. If you want to be the keeper of the coin, I will accept this.
You could feel whatever the dragon equivalent is to a thumbs up.
Actually, the Dual Claw.
Dew Claw comes up.
I feel like this is an example that Reynard is not ready for this because I was not ready for this.
I'm just gonna get ready and try and leave before everyone else and just get to the owls first.
Okay. In replace of the incense requirement, the 10 gold, yours has to be just straight 10 gold.
Because he loves gold.
It's a dragon.
I love it.
Gotta make a deposit at the familiar bank. Hold on, guys.
Okay, so on to Crimson Witch. It'll take you 2 days. Okay.
All right.
Fast forwarding 2 days.
Oh, are we not gonna camp? Okay.
Nothing eventful happens.
Okay.
Changing some music.
Are we gonna get a map of Crimson Witch?
What's left of it?
Oh my god.
I
Jokes.
miscounted.
I carried
That's
the 2.
actually been keeping track. Yeah, you guys are
Guys.
off for like 43 days. You fucked up.
They've already died. Everything's burned to the ground.
Here's
Oh,
Crimson
come on.
Witch. It's just a crater.
Aw.
Just like, Kevin, I thought you were counting.
I can't count.
No, you can't.
The helpful figure approaches from the side. Well, you see, when you guys got stuck in that time warpy place, the whole time, the whole thing just got totally out of whack.
Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey things.
As you all are flying out towards Crimson Witch, you can see it on the horizon. Let me bring up my notes. It is impossible to miss the fact that Crimson Witch is a city at war, even though as of yet there are no smoldering fires or war-torn battlefields. Soldiers toil, and what only a few weeks ago were idyllic orchards and productive farms, digging trenches, raising watchtowers, and securing wooden palisades. The city is almost completely surrounded by a 20-foot-high wall of stone. The only stretch not protected in this way is the section along the river that marks the city's northern boundary, where a bridge crosses the Edanian River and connects with the city with the river's far bank. The highest point of the town is nestled in the near center. A large, well-built keep of stone surmounts this hill, its majestic towers rivaled only by the presence of a nearby grand cathedral. Despite the city's size, the streets are almost strangely silent and empty. Patrols of soldiers march down some roads, but there's little sign of the normal mercantile activity that one might expect. Upon closer inspection, it seems that many of the town's buildings have been boarded over. War has indeed come to Crimson Witch. Are we landing outside the city, or are we landing right inside of it?
Outside.
Okay.
Yeah,
Outside.
outside 23, we should land outside the city. We don't want them to think we're flying over to attack them.
Well, I agree.
Outside the city.
Flying towards it, you all descend, roughly a few hundred feet away from the walls, where immediately an entire squadron of armored knights, gold and blue symbols of Edania, approaching. All of them helmed, all of them swords and shields. Many of them are drawn. They are approaching you.
Oh.
I raise both my hands and approach.
I'll wait.
Hands up.
Wait a minute.
Why are you still tired, Roman?
I don't know. This one takes a while.
Such a lovely welcome. And Cor would raise her hands as well.
As they all approach, Bernard.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's a welcome that they're going to give us.
As they come in, the head of them steps forward. Larger than most, about 6 foot in armor, big long sword across, just drawn. It's at his side. Who goes?
Misfortune.
What he said.
Yes, we are here to help.
Yes.
I realize that our name sounds terrible when announcing who's coming for wartime.
We are the adventuring party known as Misfortune.
We sent the people of Orchards River up here to assist, as well as the Tiricator. We're here to help assist with any sort of matter that we can.
We didn't send the character call.
Why didn't you say so? And he sheathes his blade and looks at all of you. Well, I'll be. Hey, Renard. And the helmet of one of them will pop off.
Oh, fuck me!
Oh, that's
Which-
your brother?
He'll then say, hey, baby brother. What brings you to this part of town?
Cor lowers her
I
hands.
knew where this was going the second that you said who it was.
Cor lowers her hands and goes, oh, isn't that adorable?
Renard, you didn't tell us you had a brother.
Actually, I did. I told you I had several siblings.
He did say
He actually
that.
did.
He did. A little bit.
You kind of didn't pay attention, Kevin.
You are the youngest of all of them, right?
Yes.
You're the
I'm
littlest.
youngest of the
Aw.
three.
Oh,
Well, it's
cool.
nice
Don't
to
say
meet
that.
all of you. I'm Bertram Montillier. Nice to see you.
Your accent is so much
I was
different than
about to say.
Renard's.
Yes.
Well, you're gonna discover a lot of differences between me and the rest of the family.
Wait.
I'm, a little. Well, Renard could probably tell you the story better than I can. Anyway, you're actually expected.
Wonderful.
By
He's
who?
expecting us.
Yes, by whom?
Well, curiously enough, we got word of your coming, though I did not get specific names. Or at least, excuse me, I knew one of them, Montaigne.
When you're traveling around the Empire and you don't want to be recognized as who you are, you need to use an alias.
Actually, that's a good point. Is this the first time I've heard his real name? He's used a few different names.
I have never used his actual name, no. Well, I've never used his actual last name. Even on the adventuring charter, he gave a fake name.
Renard,
Rude. What?
we were having our deep confession last week, and you decided to give us a fake name.
I didn't say my last name at all. We didn't discuss names.
Does
Would
this
I reckon?
invalidate our adventuring charter?
So what?
Does this invalidate our adventuring charter if you put a fake name on it?
We can fix it.
I don't think it's that important.
I think it is. Names are important.
Well, regardless, and be that as it may, you're expected by the Lord of Crimsonwich, Kurdan Jarmath.
Yes, we should go and meet him post haste. That's extremely important. Nothing else to discuss here.
There's
Oh
so
no,
much
we
to
got
discuss here.
lots to talk about, baby brother. Trust me.
No, you should enjoy your time with your family.
Do you do
If
magic
have a
too?
personal moment. We can go ahead.
I'm afraid I don't really do the conservatory type. I didn't fit in.
No,
But you do something.
Don't we all?
That's fair. I like you. You're quite nice.
He is an attractive young man. Late 20s, early 30s, somewhere in there. Built very similar to Renard, more full, muscled by far. Brighter hair as if he's gotten more sunshine. Same eyes, complexion is about the same. You can see the resemblance. Well, please follow me. And he will bring you into the city itself through, I'm assuming, the west gate.
Yes.
we got, as he starts guiding you through the city, he'll begin kind of a tour pointing out various points. Over there is the Cathedral of Haliel. It's kind of the big point of this city. You'll see that from pretty much anywhere you go. Most of our congregations go there, and traditionally it's where most of our clerics reside. And over there, and he'll point towards one of the buildings. That's the Stone Wyvern. That's an inn. We got another couple over there. It's Craven Raven. Points down the market. Going down that way, get your marketplaces. If you need your magic, it's over at Red Magic and Sundries. The laundry runs that place. She's a little weird. You get used to it, though. I can see a lot of narrow eyes from some of you.
Have we met a laundry in this universe? I don't remember.
No, we have not.
He does, however, guide you up through more streets before bringing you up to the city itself, the central building. As you are ushered into the great halls, a low murmur of a dozen muted conversations fall silent as the great double doors of the southern end of this great hall are opened by a pair of guards for your passage. Leading the way is Bertram. The room beyond is a large chamber, floors polished and smooth, and the walls set with many alcoves, each containing a trophy or a work of art. The ceiling rises to a cavernous height of nearly 40 feet, and deep-set narrow windows match nearly that height along the northern wall. A single long table dominates the center of the room, its surface covered with books, maps, ledgers, parchments, sketches, drinks, and plates of half-eaten food. There are a number of people gathered around this table, some of which you recognize, and some of which you do not. One of those you do recognize, standing at an impressive 8'5", is Damon.
Damon!
And he looks at all of you. Well, out of there.
I go in for a hug.
Well, hello there.
There is an equally there is a serious hug, and you almost get that Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other guy from Predator doing that, and you can almost feel the black hole forming as they do the handshake.
Hell yeah.
Additionally, a far more frail-looking elf of copper and gold skin is there as well. You recognize as Numos.
Oh. I've got
Bernard, this is the part where you say, Numos.
Going for a hug.
Bernard will say, "This is a lot of familiar faces one day," but he will, step closer to Numos. Says, "It's good to see you, actually, Numos. I still had minor concerns. Your correspondence was not entirely legitimate, considering what we're dealing with."
Yes. Well, I thank you for coming. It has been a while.
It has been.
The leader of this group is a regal-looking gentleman. Silvered little bits in his hair as signs of age are coming. Trimmed goatee, royal purple cloak, neatly cropped hair. Definitely has the presence of authority around him, which he will then clear his throat. Greetings, misfortune. He'll bow his head ever so slightly. I am Kurdan Jarmath, Lord of Crimson Witch.
Bernard will incline his head slightly as well.
Tempest will bow.
We've heard word of your coming. It's nice to finally get the chance to meet all of you.
Yes, we've been busy with operations and such. We hope things haven't been too bad.
Not so far. The Red Hand hasn't made it to Crimson Witch yet. I estimate you've probably got a 10-day or so before they get here.
Just a 10-day? Wow, that's...
Or so, plus or minus, not entirely sure.
How's the flow of refugees been?
Stopped.
Where are they?
We got a few waves out of the initial towns, but about 4 days ago we stopped getting any. Your Dwarven company, however, is expected to arrive tomorrow. They sent out advanced riders, and we are aware of that, so thank you for finding our lost gold and paying for that.
Yes, that was a minor chore in and of itself, but it's all settled and done with, and they should be helpful.
He'll also gesture to a few other individuals who are here. Additionally, my other advisors are here as well, one of whom I believe you have met in Beowick, to which you see a halfling woman who is there. You recognize her as Varasa Kal. She was an attendee to Lady Anastasia. She says nothing, but she does bow her head.
Yes, truthfully, you have Lady Anastasia to thank for us. She was the one who directed us towards the Adenian Vale in the first place.
Yes. We're here to see the updates in that progress. It is unfortunate to find out that an army is bearing down on our trade goods. And the city, of course.
Well, unfortunately, the trade routes are more difficult to deal with as long as the Red Hand are on foot, but we've made some progress in figuring out why magic has been so distorted in the area. Unfortunately, we don't have much to unveil on that.
Also, stepping out of one of the shadows is...
My
Trilara.
God.
Trilara.
Jesus.
Another warrior handshake from 23.
Oh.
And she will... Much weaker.
I will come over to... I will come over to Trilara and actually, give her a hug. If she will take it.
She pauses for a moment as if really, really concerned that she was just hugged. But then, yes. Yeah, thank you. I told you
Why
I would
don't
be
I
here.
remember this person?
You don't remember?
She was the...
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at my notes at the elves we helped back before he killed Duskbringer. That she's far more recent. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
I guess Trilara was more of a... I guess I'm the one who did the, kind of spirit-y things with her.
Yes.
Yeah, so... Just making sure I had the right elf. Sorry.
Cor would greet everyone as they're introduced, since this is a first time meeting these people for her.
Well, please. And at point, chairs will be brought up for everybody to sit. I have heard a great deal about you from the flow of refugees. Nora, Winston, Damon, and the rest have told about your exploits in the Aluanera forest. And of course, your deeds in the Witchwood. You are probably our best chance of defeating this Red Hand. Our forces are strong, and I think we might even be able to beat them in the field with your help.
Well, it's certainly going to be a start, but we do have news, and the first news is that they do have a red dragon on their side.
Big one.
I have a theory.
Surely you can handle a dragon. I've heard you've killed, what, 2 now? 3?
We've killed dragons. Yes, this one is significantly...
No, but they... Oh. But they do something against the hobgoblins who are going to stop me from shooting the dragon.
I was considering some sort of capturing it with rope, but that would be difficult in itself.
Perhaps. Dragons are notoriously strong.
The red ones, those are fire, right, Renard?
Yes.
Rope. I feel like rope against fire is not going to do great.
It's more
Maybe
for the
chain.
wings, not the body.
Oh, chains.
Chains
a-
would work, yes.
It's a lot... It's an adult dragon much bigger than the ones we've been dealing with.
Almost twice the size.
Damn. I've been able to take out the other ones. I probably can't knock that one out of the sky, can I?
You would need a hell of a shot.
Harder.
Or a really big bow.
I need a bigger bow. That's the idea.
I need a bigger boat.
A bigger bow.
Do we have cannons?
What's the cannon?
Cannons aren't a thing. Cannons
they're
aren't
not
a
a
thing.
thing? Okay.
Yeah.
What about a
I was in the
ballista?
course, do we have cannons? Kevin's just like, I'm working on it.
Pirates have cannons on their ships. Do pirates here not have them?
Oh.
Actually,
Free cannons.
do they have ballistae?
Alright.
Ballistas, yes. But are you asking him specifically, or are you just asking what the city defenses are?
Oh, I was just generally asking about ballista in general.
Yeah,
Like,
you
is
see
this
any
the
on your
right
flyover.
time? Huh?
You did not see any on your flyover.
Okay.
That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah. That was just Michael curious if it was the right time period for that.
Fortunately, speak up. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, so where would your best recommendation to fight this dragon be?
Well, that's the rub of it, 2H Bertram will then say. Our soldiers are dependable, and they are well trained, but we're also vastly outnumbered. I don't have a lot of confidence that we could face them on the open field, even with your aid. If you're to fight a dragon on top of that, he just leaves that hanging.
Well, the walls are sturdy. Keeping them out of the city proper is our best bet. I don't fancy sending out anything to march against what we've seen and heard about. Plus, separating the main force from the dragon would dramatically make it a lot easier.
Indeed. We need to find a way to bait it into a trap.
Out of curiosity, with this dragon is probably smart enough not to go fighting on its own, correct?
Well, it might be too sure of itself as well.
Are dragons fairly arrogant when they get to that age?
Well, they're intelligent, they're greedy, but they're also smart enough to know that nothing is worth dying for. You die, you lose everything that you once had in life. There may not be enough. We may not need to kill this dragon. We may just need to hurt it enough to prove that this is not a battle that it wants to be a part of.
Unfortunately, the logic that I am afraid of with that, Renaud, is that of all of the Red Hand members, they've all been the zealot type. We don't really have a good judgment on the dragon's personalities to say. So if this is...
Numos will not in agreement with 23 in that.
If this is indeed a zealot, and they are coming to represent... Name?
Imdrim
Imdrim, thank you. Thank you, God.
Thanks, God.
If they are coming to if they're coming to represent Imdrim, then I feel that they might fight until the end.
Maybe, but these are older dragons. They've seen far more years, and they've got far more to live for.
It would have to be pretty big bait then. Regardless, there's other problems as well. There are giants among their number, a great many hobgoblins and other monsters, and the last Wormlord. We are told that a large one leads this army, and he carries a great maul we call the Shatterstar.
Curious name.
Yes, is that a name... Actually asking, is that a name we recognize from just, like, general history?
It is a Dawnspire relic.
Figured.
Have the dwarves arrived yet?
Tomorrow.
No, they're about to day out. Where does the city stand on anti-siege, by the way? Sorry, anti-armies. Do we have trebuchets, catapults?
No.
Do we have timber?
There are woods, but they are not close. Most of this place has been logged out a long time ago to make way for the orchards.
Do we have...
There's the issue. We have a standing army, but it is not massive. It is enough to defend the city from occasional threats that might arise. A hobgoblin horde, dragons, and other allies that it might bring with it is something we did not expect to happen.
Yes, I can see that.
What aid can we expect from the academy?
With the inability to get messages out, teleportation limited, we have not been able to get reinforcements from the Empire here.
I suppose they're too far out anyway.
If Marcera even knows.
It's months.
We did send word south, but who knows how far it can get.
Oh yes, but there's an academy here, isn't there?
There is. And it is more for a place of learning, and the occasional wizard comes from it, yes.
They have supplies. How much are they willing to donate?
Probably. I can nationalize all of them.
I'm not looking to procure any extremely powerful artifacts, just basic supplies that can be used to casting more certain spells that we could use to protect the city would be a godsend.
If you agree to register as the city's defenders, I will ensure that you have access to them. Whatever you need, I will provide.
We dig a very large moat.
Say again?
Should we dig a very large moat?
The majority of the citizens that remain are being either evacuated to further towns away, or they are being mustered into a militia.
Now, in
Trenches
these
are being dug by my soldiers, but a moat? That would be a monumental task.
Does that include the refugees?
No, but we had intended to get the refugees out of here. We were going to make our stand here, and if we fail here, then it would fall to Beowick.
I'm just trying to get an idea of where you're keeping these innocents, because if we're going to pick a fight for a dragon, then we need to pick somewhere that is going to be away from as many people as possible.
Indeed. Many of them are safely housed in the manors on the northern slopes.
What about the farmsteads out north of the city?
They're being withdrawn. The crops have been sown, but harvest season is not coming for a long time.
You claim there's no trees for siege weapons. Do you have excess metals?
We have a supply.
Interesting. I may be able to fuse plates of metal over weak spots.
Do what with it?
Just barricades.
That could be potentially useful for reinforcing walls.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be useful to stand behind if a dragon's going to breathe on you.
Yes, Reynard, do not let me forget. I have spell to teach you.
A spell to teach me?
Indeed. This may help you with dealing with dragonfire.
All right, I'll add it to the list of things that I have to do today.
Thank you.
What's that, Sean?
Renard, with your knowledge of dragons, especially with this being an adult, how well do you think they could fly in difficult weather?
That's a very good question for the DM.
That is a very great question for the DM. Oh, wait.
How severe weather are we talking?
Hurricane.
Not
Depends on the severity
hurricane.
of the weather. And
So
keep in mind, if you make it hellish for a dragon,
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
How quickly can we make this the Battle of Two Towers?
Oh, God.
This is what I've been kind of thinking about this, but I'm not sure exactly how it would work, and it would put us in the fray as well. The staff that we collected a little bit ago actually allows me to control the weather.
How long can you control the weather for?
8 hours
Oh.
Per day?
per. It's a recharge, but I can do that, and there is the possibility. Again, depending on the weather, I can change it to where it might be a bit more difficult for the dragon to fly around, maybe higher winds, but that would also affect us, is what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of a good way to maybe even think of a good way for this to work, but it's an option, and we can.
I can bring suggestion to you if you have this kind of magic, little one. Rain would go far away. Not so much that it will make life difficult for everyone, but enough that the fires that the dragon will breathe, and the fires that they will throw at us from the burning oil and the whatever else the giants and creatures will throw at us will be doused quickly.
That's what I was
Make it harder
thinking.
for you to conduct combat at long range, but it will prevent the city from burning down.
That's what I was thinking. I was either thinking rain or perhaps colder.
As you say, as I was thinking, it could go a long way in fighting the dragon. You also know what I don't think that army is ready for? To fight in a snowstorm.
That's the direction I was going with the snow. It was either going to be heavy torrential rain that I was thinking, or really thick snow.
It would possibly do a lot to slow them down and impede what they could do. And if our soldiers were made prepared for this in the weeks to come, warm weather, gear, and warm places to fight from, it could make a huge turn in that battle.
It is.
The DM is internally screaming because none of my maps are snow.
Imagination.
We'll pretend.
The radius is quite large. I'm talking wherever I cast this, it goes for 5 miles around.
Well, that's just for the city.
As long as I can still see enough to shoot, that's all I care about.
I would recommend, if we're going to use the weather, if you can use that spell even semi often, soak the area. It will prohibit them from being able to bring siege towers and battering rams up to the walls.
I can only do it
If we
once.
turn the field into a mud pit.
You said it recharged though.
It recharges, but it's only very small. If I use this, it's going to use a huge chunk of the magic that's inside the staff, and I have to wait for it to come back.
How many days do we have? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask DM, with an Arcana check, and knowing what I know about control weather, would I think it would be possible to literally turn the outside area of the city into literal swampland?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Not without flooding the city.
That's a problem.
It's a good idea, though. Are there other ways we can employ to keep siege engines from coming up?
What about...
We could just irrigate the lands around the city.
With no workers, though. Or very few.
We have the militia, and the dwarves will be here tomorrow.
When you say weather, that's only atmospheric effects, right? Not like an earthquake or anything like that.
No, unfortunately not. It's mainly rain. I can make it rain, I can make it snow, I can make it real sunny or real hot.
You can make it rain!
Lee, how far away from you can you place the storm? Does it have to be centered on you?
It's got to be centered on me, but it's going to be 5 miles around where I am. Once I cast a spell, though, it'll where it was created, I can leave it.
Luckily, we have the owls then. And I'll look at elf lady.
Galara.
What's her name? Galara. So,
Hello.
if with your permission, of course.
She'll nod. They must be returned before the battle begins.
Of course.
But I love Juniper. She's so sweet.
Wait, are you wanting me to fly up and cast this?
I'm saying that we could fly you into the battlefield, avoid the city from being in a snowstorm.
There is one more thing. It does take a few minutes to cast. It's not something I can immediately do. It's something I gotta focus on.
Is it possible we can make you invisible then?
I don't think that's going to be a concern. We're going to see army marching on us, and with the area of effect that has, there should be time.
We can get him in and out before the army is actually there.
My thought more is if you can even cast this a couple of times, even just once or twice, you could fly away from the city towards the army at least, cast a snowstorm out of nowhere that'll maybe only hit the edge of the city, but will hit their army and, march through a snowstorm, and that might hinder them a little more.
Because as we look at the spell, it says it's a 5-mile radius. Are you saying the city is 10 miles across, or is it that big of a city?
10 miles across? No, I said it will cover the entire city.
Oh,
I'm just wondering how much outside of the city will it also cover? Because if we're going to fight them at the walls,
probably another 2 miles out in every direction. The city's not very big.
Yeah, so that will cover literally the entire battlefield.
Yes.
So we don't need to, if we're going to use this in the fight, we don't need to leave the city to do it. We can do it from the safety of the city.
Very well. I have a question that's not weather related. For religious folk, who would be the natural enemy of Ingemroth?
Amael.
What?
Amael, okay.
Uh,
Your bow, Tempest.
yes.
If we're chasing zealotry, that might be bait enough.
I don't know if does this give off an aura of like, this is an item of Amael? I don't know if it does. Yeah, fair enough.
Have a symbol on it?
I mean,
It's got his symbols all over the damn thing.
But I mean, I'd have to wave it under their face. It's not obvious.
Or can a dragon see?
I mean, give me a couple of days and maybe I can figure something out. But
I can make a very large replication of this symbol. What do you hope to do with it?
That's a good question.
I hope to feed on their zealotry to hopefully draw the dragon.
I have no doubt they would be absolutely pissed. Actually, that's a good question. Is there a temple of Amael around here?
He'll shake his head at that. No.
Okay.
Just Haleal.
That's really unfortunate. Not even a shrine, a statue, anything.
No. Not this far north. You have to go closer to the Empire if you want that.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to abuse that then.
What?
Like,
Are you incapable of sewing a flag?
I mean, I can do that much, but I don't know if that's grand enough. I'll totally do that, but I'll see if I can do anything else.
I can make a 20-foot symbol. It's quite grand.
That would be pretty grand.
Would the hobgoblins recognize the symbol of Amael? I assume they would.
I imagine if there is... I don't care about the hobgoblins, I care about the dragon.
Yeah.
Dragons, from what Renard has told us, are smart.
The dragon would probably recognize it then. Maybe we can use it in some form or fashion.
This is playing on the zealotry, though. If they are truly 100% dedicated to Imjimroth, and the only one that could possibly reach this symbol would be a dragon, then I feel like that might be our best option to lure them out.
I will look into it. And Core, if you wouldn't mind, I would love your help.
Of course.
We'll work on it then.
You could also just get a simple tabard and put the symbol on your chest.
Says fight me, you punk ass bitch.
Here's the awkward part. I'm not really a cleric of Amael, although I mean he's wonderful. It's one of those like he's wonderful, but so would I be would Amael be someone I would like pray to?
The relationship has not been properly explained to you.
Yeah, I didn't think it had.
You are praying to Vasilia and Amael as a combined entity.
Okay.
So who you're getting your power from directly, you are unsure.
Okay. So I would still know. I would know that much at least. It's like I can kind of figure that part. Okay.
So, once again, this is banking on the fact that the dragon might also be a zealot.
Well, if that doesn't work, then what else could we use to lure a dragon?
So
that's the dragon expert.
That's a question for Reynard.
That was an idea Cerulean had. Why don't we just use gold?
I mean, that's a brilliant idea.
Place it outside the city, make minor covers of it, like we're trying to hide the valuables of the city.
What if,
or at least stopping whoever might be trying to take it away.
What if, based off kind of branching off of the gold, they know that there are relics out there, right? What do you think the dragon will do when it finds out there's two very powerful ones here in the city right now?
Would it care enough to charge in without its army, though?
It's possible. I mean, if what Renard says is true and they covet treasure above all else, then that would bring significant boon to their horde.
Perhaps if we put it to them, so it does.
I'm not saying like you know, put all the artifacts in one place. Obviously not, but
no, I'm agreeing with you. What I was going to say is perhaps make it look like those relics, gold, and things are leaving the city. Like let the dragon kind of assume they're leaving, and hopefully it'll come after them. Maybe like to the north.
That's an idea.
The other thing I was thinking was playing off an idea that Renard had earlier, a few weeks ago, is possibly sending a fake message in their code.
To whom?
To whoever their leader is. I'm sure they have scouts all over this place already. We find a scout, we manage to
Yes,
send a letter.
actually, we curious to know that we found a spy.
A spy, you say?
Indeed. A red-headed woman.
Oh, God.
Bitch!
Damn it!
God!
Yes. Very nice, large woman, very built, very strong.
Out of character. Fucking shit, it's Ruby!
No, he said very strong. No, Ruby's not strong. She's talking about the girl
barbarian who wanted to jump 23's bones that he doesn't have.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about her. Sorry.
Yes. She was what we call an ethercap.
What is that?
Some sort of woodland creature disguised.
What did you do with that?
Executed her. She was trying to disguise, collect information, know the city's defenses.
Did you have any information on her? Any coded information?
You specifically. Your group. Knew a great deal about you.
How long ago was she executed and captured? Captured then executed?
Almost 2 weeks.
No.
They probably noticed by now then.
I don't think Speak with Dead will help us with that.
Indeed.
Have you found anything else? Any of the information you have been able to decode? We did manage to break that cipher.
He'll shake his head at that. No. Our scouts have been able to keep a good eye on their army. We know their composition. We know their strengths and weaknesses, but quite frankly, we are overwhelmed.
Renard will take out a parchment, and he will start to actually make a pretty elaborate copy of what Kevin and he managed to break with the cipher, so that they can have a copy of it, just so they can know how to break these codes as well.
He will take this information and make good use of it. This is good. You have been very active against them.
We've been very busy.
As far as they know, they don't know that. As far as we know, they don't know that we've broken the cipher. We haven't sent a message yet, so they have no inkling to believe that it would be broken.
We've been very careful.
This is good. This is very good. They are marching across the Vale. They will be here soon. We are preparing our defenses as best we can. From my understanding of it, you think it is a better idea to stay within the city?
Yes.
Very well.
If I'm not alone in that, and he'll look around the table, realizing he's the only one who's actually mentioned that.
No, that's a brilliant idea. There's no reason to fight outside.
Except for the dragon.
What's up, Roman?
I said I like walls.
Yeah, the walls would help. And if we do go with the weather idea, at least we'll know this place better than they do, and they'll struggle.
Let's just be frank, the dragon's going to be a bitch no matter what we do.
And an entire city covered in snow is not very good at burning.
So that's another thing as well. I just remembered I can control the wind.
I could also put out flames or fan them.
Or fan them as California.
No, that's not how wind and fire work.
But if you were to
No.
direct the wind towards the encroaching army, it would severely limit their ability to use anything at range.
So like rain going down and then the wind going towards the army.
That would be helpful. Our shots would be better than theirs, and they'd have to fire into the wind.
And if they're bringing siege weapons, I imagine they'd be significantly less useful in the wind.
Exceptionally less, especially if the winds are high enough. How strong can you make these winds?
No.
I could make the wind as strong as a storm.
I assume that would... I'm an air genasi, I hope I know this shit. Like, that would be enough to probably knock, like, a trebuchet or a ballista off course.
Here's the complication. From one thing I can tell from their siege weaponry, is actually very limited. But they have giants.
I find it like giants might have it difficult throwing boulders at trees in the middle of a storm.
Depends on the size of the boulder and the giant.
You're not
What type of
wrong.
giants?
Hill giants, that what we can tell.
We dealt with Ettins in our last combat, right? Not giants.
Mm-hmm. But we did meet some hill giants that said they were going to help us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Were there
Female hill giants?
No.
It was...
No, it was a dad and his daughters.
That's what I'm asking. If the daughters join the army.
I think they were only going to fight while they were in the hills, though. That's probably long gone.
Well, also I'm thinking the mountains close by to here. Are there any giants within the mountains?
There are giants in many of the hills around there, but Crimson Witch is not exactly close to mountains. We are several days away from the Wyshans and the Adanian Shield.
What about
That's fair.
flight? We can fly. We have owls. We could fly.
Where would you go? Fly to whom? Fly to catch owls?
If there are giants in the mountains, if they are easy to find, which I would hope giants in mountains would be relatively easy to find by air, if we could convince them to come to Crimson Witch's aid, that would be... If we could use our own siege weapons against them, giants against them.
That
We
seems
could-
like
we could offer them many things, if not just the very least. Last time I checked, giants are not very fond of dragons. And an army that is looking to bring back the mother of all dragons into the world might very well be in their vested interest to not allow.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, God damn it. Why is Reynard the one who's talking to people?
I wish I could give you guidance, but that's not a thing for this.
14.
Oh, advantage?
She did say
Yeah,
advantage.
you all helped.
Oh, cool. Good.
You are yours to do as you wish. I cannot command you. I do not think it is wise. If you can find allies, I will gladly take them.
Are there any other peoples around here we might be able to call upon before the army's here? Anyone to the north, to the west, to the east, to the south?
Bailick. And he'll point towards Damon, and he'll just get a big grin on his face. Dark Laws are here, and I'm an army of my own.
Damon, you are quite core.
Pow. He dabs.
Damon's like, bam. Damon, you are just absolutely a force within only all of yourself. But I would like 5 of you, and then the army is absolutely destroyed.
Well, may I make you to know that there are basically 5 of me right here. What that means, you're not sure.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Would an insight teach us anything about that, or just make us more confused?
Actually,
I
yeah.
don't care enough.
I'm inciting as well, mainly because I'm confused.
He'll just kind of a big grin at your face.
18.
Oh, I like him.
The last time you saw Damon, he was obviously a little rambunctious, a little boisterous, and he still very much is that. But there's a little bit, just a hint, of an edge to him. His jawline is a little more chiseled. His muscles are a little more toned.
Yeah, they
and
are.
you'd swear his canines are just a little bit longer. Sharp indeed.
Do I see any new...
There is a yellow tint to his eyes as well.
That's not great. Do I see any new items on him?
Pair of bracers.
Do they look
Just
special?
like the bracers of defense.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, I'm going to keep the little jaundicey thing to myself, unless it's pretty obvious.
That's skin.
Oh, sorry.
It was his eyes,
Eyes.
specifically.
It's
But yeah,
a
that's
good-
still jaundice.
I feel like it's still jaundice.
It's still jaundice.
It's a good thing I still have my book of lycanthropy.
I was like, I don't think that discounts that he still looks jaundiced.
Oddly enough, Cerulean, that's one of the signs of lycanthropy.
Hey,
Did you read
Yeah.
that book?
no, I mean I was cursed with it for a little bit.
Oh yeah, you were. I forgot about that.
A little bit, but I was reading. I mean, to be fair, I did read it to see the side effects, and so
I got better.
I got better.
I did get better.
I imagine Renard with the other lycanthropy luck enough to recognize that, because he read the other one almost cover to cover.
Yeah. So,
I probably have no fucking clue.
over the table, this is how this is going to proceed, so you guys understand the mechanics of the battle. There are going to be a series of engagements throughout the city that you are going to have to be a participant to. You are able to call on one set of allies for each of these engagements. You choose which ally you want. It can be Trelara, Numos, Damon, the dwarves, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't make any friends, guys. We really fucked this up.
I feel like that's a fair amount of friends, actually.
I got a few friends.
I don't.
You know-
I do not feel like that.
Like the
Oh,
only
and
ones.
Bertram.
The only ones we really lost were the elves, and over the table, that's just because they were bitches.
If we're gonna kind of debate about this too, like I'd say we bring Damon to the dragon fight. Personally,
I'd prefer someone that has range to the dragon fight.
Yeah, that's probably
Not
the better
Damon
idea.
who hits things real hard. Damon's probably good for a giant fight. Anyways,
Like-
sorry.
that's true. That's true.
I
Actually.
have one
go ahead.
question about that. So, I as a player know the limits of being able to hold a creature down. But I also know that Damon is a really big fucker who counts as a size larger. Do I think Damon is strong enough to hold a red dragon down?
A large one? Maybe. Adult?
Because as a player, I know it's 2 sizes larger you can hold, and as Damon, he counts as a large creature.
Give this man enlarging or whatever.
Depends on if he's transformed or not.
So yeah, I'd be with Sean on this and be like, we need to bring someone who can ranged attack because
Wait, me? I was the one that suggested Damon. That was Connor.
That was
said,
That was
sorry, Connor. Sorry, because I think the last few times we fought dragons, like I've brought them down, and that's how the melee have gotten them.
Yep.
Like that's not gonna happen this time.
You basically have Numos, who is a spellcaster, Kalara, who is an archer, Damon, who is a pugilist, Bertram, who is a paladin, and you've got the dwarves, and you get a squadron of them.
I feel like Numos is the best out of those for a dragon fight.
Yeah, because if he knows Earthbind, like I understand dragon has a lot of strength, but if we actually got it, then
yeah. I assume we're all talking over the table at this point.
Over the table. In fact, why don't we go ahead and take 15 here, Kurt? We're gonna take a break, everybody.
15 to plan this.
Yeah, there's gonna be some.
Well, there's something else I'm throwing on you too. And welcome back. So, as you all sit around, gathered around the table, a council of war, deciding the fate of Adania. Is there anything else you would like to add to this war council?
Do we at least know which side of is it just going to be the western gate they most likely attack, or do we have any notes on that?
He'll shrug at that.
I would be surprised if they did not just encircle the city. That is typically how sieges work.
If they're going to siege it, that will be how they do it.
Siege tends to be very ineffective if you leave a side of the city open.
That makes sense to me.
Have you all given thought to taking the bridge down?
If they come on the north side, we will blow the bridge.
It may be too late if we wait until we see if they're coming on the north side.
It won't be. I am confident in my soldiers. Perhaps you should be as well, my friend.
I think it is.
There is a little bit of edge to that.
We should finish up our preparations. Luring the red dragon Abatheriax into the northern fields past the gates may also put us a little bit in danger, as if this happens and the army starts to approach, we may find ourselves locked out of the city, but taking out Abatheriax is, I feel it is the most important thing that we could possibly do here.
Beth, question, what are the buildings in this city made of?
Stone and wood. Some of them are more sturdy than others. Most of the manors are made out of hardy stone. Many of the regular buildings are varying short forms of wood.
The buildings in the city, are those something that we could have deconstructed?
Depends on how many.
As many as you can deconstruct would be helpful.
Why?
You mentioned you were short on timber.
That's not the problem. The problem is my men are otherwise occupied. I could, but it would have to be for a very big project.
Yes, we would use the timber to build siege engines to defend the city. Ballistae on the walls and trebuchet behind them could do a lot towards increasing your defensive strength.
We could, but we would lose soldiers.
I mean, there are also trees in the city, judging by the map, anyway.
There are a few trees here or there. Most of them are orchards.
Just checking.
Apple trees are not exactly good for chucking boulders.
True.
I can't think of anything else.
Or can I?
I'm not saying no to your project, but we lose one defense and gain another. And if we lose one, soldiers are always
do so much, you know.
I believe if we control the weather, we may not require the trebuchet as much as having people just fighting.
It would take about 3 engineers per siege weapon to operate, depending on how many you wanted to build. And it multiplies up very quickly.
My concern is if we're going to go with the snow plan, how sure can we be that once it starts snowing that our own siege weapons are going to work with the dam?
So here's what you do. You put all your siege weapons in front, then you have a cavalry charge go straight headlong into the encroaching enemy army. You also put them outside the city walls, because that's a good idea.
That'll never work. That only works in movies or TV.
What is this, movies or TV?
Anybody else get the reference?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
And I picked that battle to pieces. That was really annoying.
None of them actually
200
died.
good men could hold Winterfell. Let's take them all outside.
Anywho,
I also feel like we might get some new inspiration if we find anything useful in a magic shop or whatnot that we can use.
Yeah. I'm going to be busy.
Roman, it is too bad that you do not have your bottle of glue.
I had thought about that.
Guys, let's just glue the dragon to the ground.
That'd be pretty funny.
You can't be trusted with such things.
Reynard, do most wizard towers sell glue?
I don't know. From what I
We
can
should
tell,
go find
the
out.
academy here is possibly less well-equipped than the one in Beowulf. But we should see. I suppose we should meet up again in another week or so. Continue with the plans and what progress we've made. That seems like the best idea.
He'll nod at that.
A weekly stand-up sounds like a wonderful idea. It's very agile.
Alright. Lord Gadon, Numos, brother, everyone else. Everyone do what you can.
And Renard will depart.
Reinhard is going to go do lots and lots of things.
Is Bertram leaving as well?
No, Bertram's staying.
Fair enough.
I would like to go to the Red Magic and Sundries to see what they have that could possibly aid us.
Is that the magic store?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm following you.
Same.
Did I
just
see-
stuff-
Sorry.
I was going to head to the
Everybody-
academy, but if they're going to the Sundries, I'll just go there first, just so we can stay together for now.
Magic.
You mentioned that he's a paladin. Did I notice what god he seems to follow based on stuff? on
Bright
his-
armor and a starburst on his chest, not the candy.
What, I was about to say what flavor. I was just about to say.
Is it lemon?
Is it a pink one?
Red.
Pink ones are the
My
best.
joke would have been if it's a gusher, but that's just me.
Anyway,
Oh, dude,
What-
gushers.
It was the symbol of Haliel.
I kind of figured based on the cathedral. Moving on. Not interesting.
Okay. As you walk around the town, Red Magic at Sundries is kind of about and around, so it takes you, 20 minutes to walk to it. You don't see much in the way of activity from people around the city. There are patrols of guards that walk past you from time to time, give you a few quizzical looks. However, as you open the door into Red Magic and Sundries, the immediate disproportion of space becomes apparent. The building on the outside looks like it would fit inside of a shopping mall, not particularly large, but as the opaque doors open, the wide space becomes absolutely incredible as you find yourselves almost in an emporium filled with stuff. You can see things hanging on the walls, floating about, stuffed in little piles, plaques of various items and their descriptions hanging about. But standing in the middle of it all, its back turned towards you, is a large winged cat. And it seems to be in the middle of some sort of ritual as it starts to spellcast. But as it hears the dinging of the bell, it will slowly turn about and reveal...
Arcana check to see if I know what this is.
I'm getting there.
I would like to as well, actually. Ooh.
Go for it.
Ooh, nice.
This is a Gynosphinx. Welcome to Red Magic and Sundries. I am a laundry, and I am the storekeeper of this home. How might I aid you?
That's the last thing I expected when I walked in here.
Indeed.
Such is the response I get from many.
Wait, have we met her before?
Last campaign.
Oh,
Different
okay.
campaign.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Well,
It's a cat.
pleasure to
I
meet you,
recycle
Acquaintance
NPCs.
Andre.
Sorry.
My name is Renaud. We're here to inquire about any items you may have for purchase.
Hmm.
I have a large set and selection that you may pick from. But is there something in particular which you find yourselves needing?
Anything that could help kill a red dragon?
Do you have an inventory list?
I do indeed. Allow me a moment. And it will a list up to you.
Ooh.
And as I bring it up,
Shopping episode.
see if this one-
Magic.
She's like, I only have glue. Different
2
size.
tons of magic glue.
I would be so
A lot of
fucking
magic
annoyed.
horses in this city.
Let's just put all the gold in a giant glue pile.
Dragon's like, motherfucker, come on.
I don't think glue works on dirt, though, is the issue.
Oh, it works on everything. Use glue the dirt to the other dirt.
There's one list in the table, and I'm getting the other one up here in just a second.
Oh, it's one list. Okay. Whew.
I see at least one thing that's already going to be useful.
I don't see what the list is.
Private Discord.
Potions?
Oh, I was looking on Roll20.
Things. Oh.
Oop.
Oh.
On this too.
Scroll of
Never
Revivify.
mind.
Sorry, I'm
I was gonna say, do you see what I see, Renard?
I did see that. It depends on what you saw. What I saw, I may have seen different things.
I saw the glyph that you were talking about earlier.
A scroll of glyph of warding. I see a scroll of hunters. mark,
Oh,
which is
you
kinda
did.
cool.
Okay, no, I was looking at the first list still.
Wait, why is an uncommon item 60,000?
This is what it does.
Oh.
Have you met the prices in this game?
Well, no, it just seemed like
you met the prices.
it's right below a very rare item that's 10,000 cheaper. That's why I was confused.
Now, the rule for scrolls is like if I can learn the spell, but I'm not at the right level, it's like a concentration check or something.
You
use
can't
it.
learn the spell. You can only
Right.
cast the spell. And you
Well,
have to
right,
make a
but-
check to do it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like if I have a scroll of Speak with Dead, like I'm not at the level to use that spell.
You can use
But-
the scroll. It consumes the scroll,
Okay, so it just uses a scroll. Okay.
and it's using it. It's the scroll's DC. The person who casts its DC. I
Okay.
believe.
I think so.
Is there
I got-
something in the list that you find of interest?
Actually, yes. May I possibly see your mithril scale mail?
She will
You
just.
feeling a bit squishy?
Oh, poor Connor.
He farted again.
For those of our viewers, there is a puppy nearby for one of our players.
Mm-hmm.
He's experiencing puppy farts.
Yeah.
So, she will float down a beautiful set of scale mail, glimmering and beautiful, almost like silver. It has the blazing symbol of Mithredhel on the front of it, carved as a moon.
He'll take it gently, sort of like turning it. Now he'll look to everyone. He'll say, "I am a little bit easy to hit.
You wear that.
He'll sort of jangle the mithril. With this, I can.
I believe it's fairly well made.
crafted from the dwarves of Dún Maldoom. It is said to be one of the last pieces you can find in this side of the world.
Aha.
That is lucky.
Inside. I'm not kidding.
It's like then we can have both of us will be rocking the mithrils. I'll kind of jingle at my breast.
Oh, you're right.
We'll be matching.
Oh man, I forgot. that.
Almost. I really like this jacket though. It's worth it.
That scimitar might be helpful, but
You can wear it underneath your jacket. Your sense of fashion must not be offended.
I like the way you think. I appreciate you.
I like the way I think too. She
You know what?
flaps her wings all out, sprawling.
You know what? Yeah. I'll take this.
Of course. That will be 850 gold.
I was about to say, yeah, I will reach in my bag and take it out and pass it over.
She will it all, and you can almost hear Reynard just like out of your ear hear a sound as the gold floats away. Not out of your bag, but somebody's seeing gold fly around.
Perfect.
I would love this scroll, and I'll point to the scroll of Speak with Dead.
Of course. It is a mere 400 gold.
Of course, and I will pay my 400 gold.
I have a question.
Speak, and I will answer.
So I have like a bunch of magical items, as you can see from my things. Anyways, do these goggles of night, do I have to stop using one of these? You have to attune to goggles of night. I don't know. Connor doesn't know.
Just assumed we're all here.
I don't think they're attunement, right?
They are not attunement required. It is considered adventuring gear. Less a magic item. It's more like a pair of goggles that look like a giant owl on the front.
Ignore Blake being stupid and forgetting that he didn't add the money after he told everybody what they got from the last cut.
thought you posted.
Ignore me.
You did
I
post
did post.
it.
I did. I never added it to my own sheet.
570.
Yeah, I
was what
got
it
it. I
was.
got it. No, I got it.
Oh, actually,
I
another
was
thing
so busy
too.
figuring it out for you guys, I never did it for myself.
I just realized something. We got this a while ago. We've just never used it, or we've never been in a place to use it. Does anyone care if I sell the wand and I take up this little wand of web that I still have?
Should have two of them actually.
Would that
Yeah,
work on a dragon?
We do have two of them.
Very
No,
unlikely.
no,
Okay.
yeah, they need to be in like a space. Like it's really useful in a building, but outside of that, not really, or in forest.
If it's on, it will. You can also cover the ground, so anything touching the ground gets stuck in it too.
I thought it
So
needed to be
if-
connected to a few surfaces.
It does, but you can also just conjure it across a flat surface.
Oh, I did not know that actually.
I could take one of those. I only have one attunement slot used currently.
Well, I haven't even attuned to this. I mean, actually, if it's more useful to you, I'll just pass it off to you.
I just do not know if it's. Do we need this spell?
She will
Maybe-
eye you very carefully. I can tell by your equipment that you do not use regular adventuring gear like the rest of these gentlemen and ladies.
Who,
Interesting.
me?
Of course.
Hmm.
You are built differently than the rest. You need something unique.
That is because I am a warforged.
Reynard casually looks at the other two warforged in the party.
They are also built differently.
There is a place not far from here called Shank's Shivs. The particular individual was working with experimental weaponry. I believe he may have something of interest to you.
Does he?
If you can convince him to part with it.
Does he happen to be a small gnome?
He is.
Does he have pink hair?
He does.
I
Oh,
knew
we
it!
met him.
Fucker.
23. We must show him that we found a new Warforged.
Oh, he would be so excited.
He'll be very
No!
excited.
Huh.
I know what somebody's doing for the next week.
Literally, 3 Warforged is gonna faint.
He's gonna have a heart attack and die.
Poor guy.
Reynard will say, I'll take that scroll of Glyph of Warning.
Of course. Verifying my list. There we are.
I was wondering, I have no money. I'm so annoyed that I don't have any money. Oh, right. We got a whole bunch of money, guys.
That will be 400. You know, he spent like 10 minutes complaining at me earlier that I didn't give you guys enough gold.
I absolutely did, because Wizard's Life is an amount more than like infinite, then it's not enough for me.
I had like
You
more
now
than 3,000.
A scroll of Glyph of Warding.
Woo!
And a purchase for myself as well, if you please. The darts I am quite interested in.
Very well. The wounding darts, yes? The vicious dart.
Vicious darts, yes.
Do those maintain their magical effect after you've used them?
They do.
And he was looking at Core. That's good to know.
How many is that?
1 dart.
1 dart. Okay.
So get ready to throw it over
Vicious
and over and over again.
Dart.
Darts.
Cor will open up her little compartment for her darts and put it right on top and load it into the firing mechanism.
Okay.
Dart with angry eyebrows.
So mean.
Well, I may come back for the goggles.
Well, I was thinking maybe if when it comes closer to time for the battle, if we don't use our gold, we can spend some on some of those healing potions. That's my plan, at least. But, I want to see what's over at that other place with the gnome. Seems how we have some bargaining chips, maybe.
Okay.
So you have no glue.
Blank, 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 blank.
Do you? We're not from here. Do you believe that the academy here would have any ritualistic scrolls by chance?
They are a place of learning. It is possible.
Wouldn't hurt to ask. Then I suppose thinking on that, I do want to get one more thing. I would like your scroll of skywrite, please.
Of course. Somebody has a heavy thumping reverb. And it's been going on. Please mind your mics.
I'm currently muted.
I'll lean over towards Cerulean and be like, Cerulean, I can already do that spell.
Oh, you can?
Yes, I can make you a scroll of it if you would like.
He's like halfway pulling out the gold. Why didn't you say that? Oh, I didn't say anything. That's
You
fair.
did not ask.
That's fair. That's fair.
I am a Warforged, not a mind reader.
Damn it, Jim.
Then scratch that. I will take a scroll of revivify.
Very well.
That's probably better.
I'll be like, make sure that has easy access, just in case you go down, along with a diamond. Was that what you've used for that before?
I still have. He'll pat his satchel. I still got them. Don't worry.
Do you
Okay,
want me to hold on to the scroll of Vivify?
I
believe I should be able to utilize it.
Oh, can you use it?
I get Revivify at third level spells, so it would be like not a spell I can currently cast.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually, especially with how well you can traverse the battlefield.
It would spread our revives out as well, so if you get knocked out, they do not all go with you.
Well, if either of you get knocked out, I can use the scroll. I'll just have to take it from you, Kevin.
But yeah, I'll take the scroll, and then I guess I'll say, would you be interested in this wand of web?
She will eyeball it. It is common as wands go. I could buy it off of you if you don't desire it.
I rarely ever use it. I expect it probably better in someone else's hands.
I will jokingly nudge Tempest. I'm like, it's no wand of wonder.
You know, I really need to take that from you. I'm glad you reminded me.
I'm not
you
take
not
that from him.
steal
It's
from
his
me?
favorite- It's his favorite weapon.
Yes, and it's got him killed.
What was that, Beth?
She will buy it off of you for 100 gold.
That'll do.
That'll
I
do,
think
babe.
it's worth 100 gold. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's worth selling to her for just 100 gold.
What's that?
I don't think we should give that item up for just 100 gold pieces.
Well, we have another
I'm
one,
right
remember?
on. Yes, but we also have the ability to use 2 of them. I'll point out, we also have a fair few gems just sitting in the bag of holding now that are worth hundreds themselves.
This is true.
We don't need to sell this.
I forgot about those.
This
We
is
are
true.
hurting.
We have
Go ahead.
3. Hold on, there's a scroll here. We have 3 worth 500, 4 worth 100, and 16 worth 50.
We are not hurting for gold right now. Why don't we just keep a hold of it?
The reason I complain about not having money is because nobody updated the party loot about the actual items we had.
I like to think Cerulean's like taking these items out. The people are like, but wait, and it's like,
I did something.
He
Not
will.
gonna lie, I thought you were going to, so I didn't do it.
I
yeah,
told you guys, I don't have the bag, so I don't update the party loot.
I suppose at that, Cerulean will look at it. He'll say, "My friends are right. With the events coming up soon, it might be beneficial to us. Perhaps after it's done and the use of it is done, I might come back."
Do we wish to buy that potion of supreme healing?
I think Roman said we want to come back and buy the potions later.
Yeah, I figure might as well shop around, see what there's there, and then we can come back and grab what potions we need before the battle if there's nothing else we want.
You realize we're about to go into a war, right? Other people will likely be shopping for these very same items.
Well, I will take a potion of superior healing. That 451? I'll take that one.
I'm more just if we go to another store and there's something fun.
I'm taking it.
Well, yeah,
As Renard just said, we have many gems in the bag. Let us trade some of these gems for the potion of supreme healing.
I'm really scared of.
I mean, I just have the gold. I'm just going to pay for it.
I'm really scared of Roman double fisting 2 wands of wonder.
Don't even joke.
14 shots. That's so many.
He makes Wand of Wonder his packed weapon.
Can I buy that just straight up, Beth?
You may.
All right, I buy the potion of superior healing,
I
450.
buy the wand of wonder.
Superior
hate you.
healing?
Yeah, the one that's worth 450.
Okay.
Supreme healing, is that the 4d10 plus 10?
Superior is 8d8 plus 8. Supreme is 10d4 plus 20.
That's
Yeah, I didn't buy that
what I
one.
was thinking of.
Okay.
Very
so I
well.
know. All right, I'll add that to my inventory.
Is there anything else I can buy for you? Or excuse me, can sell to you? Or buy off of you?
Would you be willing to exchange these gems for us? Would that be within your...
I can give you your gold amount, yes.
Fair enough. Just
If
so
you-
we have that money available.
And she will do the appropriate trading as for your gold amount. I think I gave you guys their amount requirement.
Can I see that thing that we got off the Bahir? Kevin.
Oh,
That was
yes!
in your chest.
No, we put it in the bag.
No, they made me put it in the bag.
Oh.
Anyways,
If you all are going to continue shopping, I'm going to leave. I'll trust you all to do your thing.
Yes, I've got work to do and I need to go to the conservatory myself, so handle this well.
I'll go. I'll probably meet up with you at the academy here in a little bit. I want to go with them, see if there's anything else we can find.
I'll yank the electric coil out of my bag and be like, what will you give us for this?
Oh
not what
dear.
will you give, but do you know if there's anything we can do with it?
Or that.
She will pause for a moment before she holds up a pearl and casts a spell. Ah.
Oh, she got... Okay.
Any caster here will recognize it as identify.
Just disintegrate.
Got you.
She's casting
What a
sanctions.
prank.
Look, I made your bard disappear.
We probably should have used identify on it. Now that I think about it.
You wouldn't
Ah.
have.
I don't want to
This-
disappear.
It is the coils of a bahir. If properly attuned and crafted to a specific series of magic items, it might offer electrical resistance, or could be used to create an enchanted weapon with electrical capabilities.
That's interesting.
It is a rare item that you have found. Remarkable.
He pulled that out of over here.
I did.
See that.
They pulled me out of over here too.
I did not see that.
Well, that is good to know.
It has been nice meeting you.
One last thing. Do you have 10 gold pieces worth of incense?
Of course.
Thank you. I will definitely take 20 gold. I'll take 2, so 20 gold. Not 20. So now I can change Roderick into an owl and back into a weasel once this is all done.
I think it's you, Cerulean. With thumping.
It might be on my keyboard because I pulled it back a little bit. That's my bad.
Okay. Alright. Is there anything else?
What was the total? Are we splitting up the gold for the gems, and what was the total?
2,700 total.
Are we dividing that 7 ways?
Might as well.
We can, or we,
We
could
should
divide
probably
it.
take. Let's take the cost of the scroll of Revivify out of that, seeing as that's going to be a party thing.
So you could just, if you do it that way, you could just divide it up where it's 2,100. Each of us would get 300 apiece, and that would leave 200 in the bag for extra expenditures.
Yeah,
So
that works.
should
I like.
So should I just put the 400 I spent back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll pay for the scroll of Revivify with party funds
Cool.
because it's going to go to keep
Oh,
the party
and
alive.
there is also one other item if you seem to be in the buying mood. And she will hover down
Awkward.
a book that just settles in front of her. This is called a Tome of Understanding.
What's it
What?
do?
It
What is that?
contains intuition and insight, and its words are charged with magic. If you read it for a period of 48 hours, over 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, you will become wiser. I.e., it increases your wisdom score by 2, as does your maximum for that score.
Tempest, that might be useful for you.
I'm not there anymore.
Oh wait, that
I
could
do not think
be.
any of us need wisdom.
No.
I
Clerics
think
utilize their brains, right? It's an intelligence thing, right?
I think maybe Tempest might find use in that.
Wisdom would help him avoid crocodiles.
True.
I
How
hate
much
you
is
a
that?
little bit.
So, somewhere out there, Tempest pulls a dagger out of his bag.
Your ears burning.
It's like, ugh, what is this pain in my back? What is this dagger doing here?
How much would that run us?
12,500 gold.
That seems cheap. I was expecting like 6 digits or 6
Yeah.
figures.
That's
I was
a lot.
thinking 50,000.
I choked on my sunflower seeds.
That seems like it is out of our price range.
That is unfortunate, and it will float back up into the roof.
Well, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate your business.
Of course. I look forward to seeing you all in the future.
Before we depart, Elondre, you've been incredibly helpful. Do you have any advice for us on the upcoming battle, as unusual a creature as you are? Forgive me, I've not seen one of your kind. Though I wonder if there's some wisdom to glean from you in war at all?
I will admit, I am not the creature who fights. But I can tell you that the encroaching army is filled with all sorts of monsters and beasts of many types, but many of them are also akin, and that they are greedy and destructive. If I were the city's leaders, I would plan to be somewhere else, but if I could not, then I would plan to play against their weaknesses. If you fight them at their strengths, you will surely perish.
And what, in your opinion, would be the weakness of a dragon?
It depends on the color.
Red, specifically.
Make a persuasion check.
I can do the persuade.
I let somebody else do
You're
this
like
for
the
a
best of us.
reason.
She will pause for a long moment. Red dragons are greedy and vainglorious. They seek glory and revel in destruction. But they are not stupid, and will not play into a trap unless the bait is heavy. If it is the dragon that you seek to engage in battle, do not do so on an open field. Though it may cost lives and property damage, it is better that than losing everyone. Engage it from multiple directions so it cannot use its breath, and I would highly recommend investing into tinctures or potions that can prevent the outset of fear.
Thank you, Laundry. You've been exceptionally helpful. I will take this information to heart.
She will bow her head.
Cor would likewise bow towards her.
I like you, Miss Core.
And I like you as well. I hope we meet again.
I have a feeling we shall.
With that, Cor would leave. And that would actually be interesting to help us in our battle. Definitely coming from all sides, and the tinctures of fear warding would be great.
I was thinking
All
about
right.
her fire stuff.
Where are we going now?
Warforged.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should go see the gnome.
Oh God.
I agree.
Cor, you must come. He will love you.
All right, I will come meet this gnome.
He was very excited when I showed him 23.
Remembering that they're going for the gnome, I'll like break away and I'll go towards the academy.
Tempest is has gone outside the Crimson Witch gates and is just kind of sitting at the north bank of the river.
Oh, so you're way off from everybody else.
I'm way off, yeah.
Okay. Shanks, Shivs, everybody else going there? Except Cerulean?
And Tempest.
Renard was heading back to the academy.
Okay.
Three
Two of you
groups.
going to the academy. All right, so I guess it's just the Warforged.
And Roman.
This
Yeah.
is Sertarian,
Roman.
right?
Sertarian the Wise, yes.
Sertarian. I love Sertarian.
As you go in there, much as it was before, there are contraptions filled from one end to the other. The mechanical squirrel that you saw in Orchard's River bounds up gleefully towards the party, chirping at the feet of 23, before you hear as something crashes and bangs from the back.
Yeah.
He is not dead.
It is
Coming
him.
around the corner
Tarian.
is a 3-foot-tall, bubblegum hair-pinked gnome.
Look, we found another one.
Oh no! He's gonna faint.
Greetings. Are you all right?
And he will immediately come running up to you and just start with a tape measure. Shrink, 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 shrink. You are a prototype.
Yes, I am. Quite. It's nice to meet you. Cor would offer her hand in shakes.
I am Sertarian. Very nice to meet you.
Cool. Do the sword thing. Do the sword thing.
Oh, yes. Cor would hold out her arm and shink, a sword comes out of it.
Oh, the wonders of Celia Larence never cease to amaze me. Yes.
In the efforts of safety, Cor would put it away because this guy seems quite excitable.
Oh yeah. Where is your she will point, or he will point towards Kevin.
Oh,
I took your request, and I do have some things for you.
you figured out how to make a landmine.
Not quite.
Oh,
And instead, he will hand you a series of blueprints. And it will cover the grenades that we specified earlier in our conversation.
these seem like landmines, but I can throw them.
You can throw them.
Oh, so it's like casting fireball then.
Not quite as strong.
More like throwing a rock that explodes.
Yes.
Ah.
Ouch.
But, my friend, the big thing for you. And he will pull out another set of blueprints. In my old notes, I found something. This was the last invention of Celia.
I
She
want to
calls
see
it-
them.
She calls it the last caster. And it is he draws the blueprints out. And near as you can tell, it looks like a firearm, but the way the designs worked for you, Kevin, it looks modular. And as more you read it, if designed properly, it can swap between a musket, a bad news, and a mortar. All in one. It also has a frontal projection shield that acts as a little bit of cover to give you some AC.
Holy shit!
It is, however, heavy. And wielding this weapon is hard to do. So while wielding this weapon, your speed is reduced by 10 feet.
This seems very complex.
It is a very complex weapon, but I think if done properly, it might be a key to unlocking more of your powers.
Do you know anything about how to build it?
He gets a big grin on his face. He then walks in the back and then walks back out holding a box over his head that you see him almost straining to carry. Before he just sets it down in front of you. And as it pops open,
As it pops open,
there is a
my screen was lagging.
thing that pops out.
A gnome.
Did you guys see the image popped up?
Yeah, my screen was
Yes.
lagging.
Okay.
Not quite sure where to pick it up from.
I think if you study it, it will be useful for you. But my friend, this is my gift to you.
Thank you. I try to sling it over my back.
A gift?
Hit backwards.
It's a heavy weapon. It
Course
weighs
seem-
better part of 35 pounds.
Jesus.
This is heavier than I was expecting.
Yes!
Just yes. Core seems very interested in the blueprints. Are they actually drawn up by Celia?
They are, in her handwriting.
Oh, it's like a treasure. Core's just like gingerly holding them in her hands.
Aww.
Go over and like slide them out of their hands, roll them up. A treasure we must protect.
Give it a try.
Do you have a map tube that I could put these inside?
A map
Yes.
too.
Yeah, like like those tubes they would keep maps in to like keep them like safe from water damage.
Basically a scroll tube.
Yeah.
One of the iron scroll tubes. Yes, one of those.
Of
Keep
course,
them extra
of course.
safe.
And he will.
How much gold for this?
Oh, no. This is a gift for you.
I'll give him 3 gold for the map tube. 'Cause I don't know how much.
This
they're
will be
worth.
quite helpful for you, Kevin.
Yes, this map tube will keep my blueprints from getting wet.
I was talking about the big thing, but yes, the tube saw.
Ah, yes. I need to study these blueprints. I have no idea how this works.
I also like the tube.
Good.
23 will sigh. I'm
23.
sure we
This is
appreciate
important
your
to
work,
keep
Sir
these,
Terry.
to allow us to build them in the future.
Yes, the tubes are very important, I can tell.
Do you want a tube 23?
No, I don't. I don't want a tube.
I'll kind of gesture to the gnome to get another tube.
I don't need a tube. I hit things, I get hit, and that is about what I do. And I shock things with my body.
To be fair, we only need one. These are the most precious schematics ever, so as long as they're kept safe.
But if we had a second tube, then 23 could draw pictures and keep it inside it.
I can't draw.
We
I
can
can
teach you how
kind
to
of
draw.
play. I can kind of play the violin, but that's about it.
You could not fit a violin inside this tube.
I pull out a bag that has my 9 pieces of chalk in it. I'm like, you can draw with these. Practice.
I could give you war paint 23 with chalk.
It's not a thing. I did do it a lot.
You can practice.
You know, I never thought I'd be the buzzkill, but I think for the first time ever, I'm the buzzkill.
Does 23 know the meaning of the word buzzkill?
It was a general.
He's
General buzzkill.
learning.
Roman, is this what it's like talking to us all the time?
Yeah, a lot.
Remind me to apologize to Renaud and Tempest.
So Terry, did you know Roman's a pirate?
Somehow I'm not surprised.
He is reformed.
There are 2 sets of the blueprints that are incomplete.
What are they for?
It's one of them is labeled Type 1, the other one is labeled Type 2.
Okay.
There are half-drawn designs, but they don't seem to make any sense.
Mechanical question for the item. How does this work with ammunition? Because if it's magic, then I can't put infusement on it. Is there like an explanation on what it fires, or?
It's modular. It loads all 3 types.
Okay, so it explains how to make the ammo.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn.
It uses regular musket shot, bad news shot, and mortar shots, all loaded into the same tube.
Those dwarves are going to be so mad when they find out that their invention was made hundreds of years ago.
They really are behind the 8 ball on this one.
Apparently.
What's an 8 ball?
I do not know.
That's Celia, I guess.
It's the 8 ball, I guess.
What was that?
I heard a pirate say it on Roman's ship once.
Must go in the corner pocket.
You never found out its use.
The mysterious 8 ball.
I saw someone shaking it once.
Oh, you might be the one to ask this. So, Cetarian, and I pull out the electrical coil again. This is the here coil, so I'm told.
Very nice.
Would there be any way to augment it to me?
To you personally?
Yes. I mean, you do have a deep fascination with Warforged. I feel like if there's anyone that can do it. I'm already electrically charged, but...
What if we could use it to increase your shock 23?
It fucking needs it.
He will say, I think I can use it in one of 2 ways. I can use it to give you electrical resistance, or I can augment your shocking capacity. Either way, it will use an attunement slot.
So Tyrion, is your voice okay?
Changed a bit there.
What are you talking about? It sounded normal to me.
So, just so I can clarify, so mechanically over the table,
It will
with
either
that,
give you
like, I'm
electrical resistance, or it'll give you a small boost to your shock rage.
so I'm already resistant to lightning.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Is that just the nature of your rage?
Yeah, it's 6th level storm.
Who knew?
Nature of his
Yep.
being now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could also augment it to other Warforged.
Well,
Oh no, then we'd arc. It'd be. It's not a good idea.
do you feel the spark core?
The spark.
No, he doesn't because he's resistant.
Well, I think everyone's always complaining about how my zaps really don't do much. So, how much do you know how long that would take to do?
No, but if I spend the time on it, I could probably get it done inside of a 10-day.
I would be willing to help you, Sartarian, if it would reduce the time taken.
I don't know what I'm doing, but it would certainly help.
I do not either.
And he, excellent! And he will pull out a saw.
Oh, we must find Tempest.
Really?
Well,
Really?
I'm loving all the callbacks, guys. This is great.
this was bound to happen sooner or later. And 23 will open up his chest.
Oh my God, this is coming.
Why do
And
I travel with you?
Kevin, 23, and Sertarian will begin to work on augmenting the shocking capabilities of 23. That will occupy you for 10 days.
10 days, wow. Does Sertarian have any other artifacts of Celia
He does not.
around? Okay.
Where did you find this, by the way?
Would you believe me if I said I had it in an old storage shed?
Yes. What is a
Family
shed?
heirloom from Marcera. My pappy gave it to me. Meanwhile, Tempest.
Are we doing me first and not the academy?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. I have taken a kind of a place on the north side of the river.
Blesses.
Oh, bless you. On the north side of the river, and I'm trying to find inner peace as I do. I'm trying to. It's a fairly like sunny day, right?
It is.
Okay, I'm just looking out across the river. I've kind of got the dragon tooth necklace that I've been playing with, and I'm just kind of like holding that in my hand. And I'm really just trying to like recreate that moment where I had like the vision with Vasilia, the crashing waves. I know it's a river, but I'm trying to like the waters here. The warm sunlight on a beach. And I'm just trying to like look out across the water and just trying to like, I'm really trying to connect because I feel like I really need some help right now.
Make a religion check at advantage.
This is where I failed 2 rolls at once. Where the fuck is religion? I didn't mean it! Okay,
Wow.
that's
You
painful.
just can't do this.
There's a reason
That
I came over here specifically to get advantage. Damn
is
it!
a Tempest roll.
A brief moment passes as you focus inward, trying to forge that connection.
No.
You don't feel anything other than a light splash of water against your face.
What? What?
And across the river, you swear you see on the other end a woman looking at you.
Does she look vaguely elven?
She does, but her skin is dark. She seems to be watching you for a moment before the hood slightly falls back and you see ashen white hair and red eyes, and she just pulls a whisper to her lips and just goes, shh.
Writing this down. It didn't look like Vasilia, did it? It's totally
Not
different. Yeah, I figured.
And as she smiles at you, she'll turn about and, like an image fading, like a mirage over sand, she vanishes.
I'm just gonna be like, oh, that was different. And I'll just kind of like hold Whisper and kind of look down and just kind of caress the symbol and just be like, who is she? And just kind of ruminate on that as I head back down, I suppose.
You don't know?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Ashen skin, white hair, red eyes.
Yep. I got it. That was a failure of a religion roll right there.
It was.
I know. I'm done.
Okay. Those of you that enter the academy, this 2-story building is perhaps, as Reynard might understand it, one of the most prestigious places of learning in the entire Edanian Vale. It was actually founded by the conservatory years ago. And it has on-site accommodations for faculty, while students live in one of the 3 nearby dormitories. Most of the courses there are for adults. Generally, it's rich people. And as you can tell by the no-nonsense lady that comes towards you, her hair bound up very tightly in a bun, you'd swear this is the type of woman who's going to send Matilda to detention. Yes, welcome to the Crimson Witch Academy. I am the headmistress, Deminda Ryanthar. Do my own words. Deminda Ryanthar. I will put that in chat for you.
Renard will he will take a moment to remove and display his conservatory pin and just say, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Reynard Montaigne. And my companion here is, and he'll gesture over towards Cerulean for him to introduce himself.
Yeah, he'll do the same. He'll pull out his little pin, and he'll actually he'll extend the hand out. I'll say, Cerulean Autumn Hall, headmistress.
Of course. Is there something we can do for you here?
Well, we're looking for whatever really we can find. Specifically, I'm looking for some access to magic that might be useful. Quiet place to put some time in. And anything we might be able to use to help fight a red dragon, among other horrors that are coming to this wonderful little town.
Of course. The Academy offers courses in history, magical theory, geography, alchemy, engineering, and culture. We have on-site accommodations for you should you desire it, if you wish places to quiet and study. If you wish to research, you may do so here as well, as you are conservatory members. If you are asking for specific resources to fight against dragons, then I am afraid we are quite limited. This is a place of learning. While we do have some facilities and are not incapable of defending ourselves, I am afraid our assets are somewhat limited in this respect.
Yeah, well, I do have more questions about that, but that largely depends on what the next answer to the question is. As I mentioned, we are about to fight a red dragon. I am looking for a very particular spell. One that is known to protect individuals from the elements.
Protection from energy. Yes, of course. We are capable of providing it at a discount, of course. You are conservatory members.
I plan on using this to a great effect. I also need to get my hands on as much incense and diamond dust as you can provide.
We do have our own stores of diamond dust and incense, of course. Mm-hmm. How much gold do you intend on spending for this?
Well, as I have spoken with Lord Kadan, he did mention that they would, as we are pledging ourselves to defense of the city, that anything would be, I can't remember the exact terminology, but it basically said that if it is for the defense of the city, nationalized.
Yeah, it means the city will take control of it for the purposes of living.
I suppose it was coming out of pocket one way or the other. I can get... He'll do some quick mental math. I can afford enough of up to 1,400 gold pieces worth.
Then you can double the amount over the table because you're discounted.
Ooh.
So it's basically 700 for what you wanted to buy.
That's a lot more than I actually need to buy. That'll work great. All right.
Are you spending 1,700 or 1,400? Are you spending 700 or 400?
I know that helps out a lot. I also need spelling. I would estimate approximately 400 gold pieces worth.
For what? I'm sorry?
Spell link.
Done.
I would as well.
The scroll itself, for the scroll, will be an extra 175.
I gotta do some math on that. Give me a second.
What is your storage of ritualistic spells like?
Depends on the spell you're looking for.
I'm looking for mainly two. One known as Phantom Steed. Helps with a bit more mobility when needed.
I'm afraid we don't have that spell access here. You'd have to find one of the conservatory members farthest south for that one. Maybe in Beowulf.
That's fair. The other one was Divination.
Ah, that we do have.
Just ignore Renard getting a little bitter because that's a spell he's been trying to take, but he hasn't had the opportunity because all the spells he's needed to take.
If that's the case, then like Renard, I would like 400 gold pieces worth of ink, and that
You
should be.
can't cast divination.
I can't.
It's cleric only.
With my Book of Ancient Secrets, I can.
With your
Yeah.
what?
Book
With
of
my-
Ancient Secrets lets him use any ritual spell.
Rituals.
Ah. Okay, I'm sorry. Then yes.
Then let me go ahead. He'll nod. I'll say I would like that. And also, when is this class on the Arcane?
Tuesdays.
What day is it right now?
Wednesday.
God damn it!
Of course it is.
Of course it is. And
What's the
then
next class you have available?
We have a course on geography coming up soon. Speaking of the nuances of the Waishan Mountains.
Well, then that sounds very interesting. If only I wasn't so occupied and so busy. I have several spells to try and a village to protect.
Village?
A village, a town, a place to live by any other name.
Of course. Is there anything else I can do for you?
That's all I need, thank you. Because Renard will hand over so much money, and he will eventually say, I'm sorry that we just got to Dolzamari and that you just saw it all go away.
You can hear the whining of the pseudo-dragon.
I just spent 1,275 gold pieces.
oh, I will hand off my.
You got
400
rid of
gold
her
pieces.
entire bed.
I did.
I will pass off my 400 gold as well.
I hope you all are appreciative of what this is going to do for you all.
Mm. Okay. What else?
I'm gonna make my way to the Cathedral of Haliel. Is that
Haliel.
right?
Yes. It is absolutely gorgeous. As I bring up the most distinctive building in Crimsonwich by far. Its angle of the church is such that even in the late evening that you all are currently in, it sets through a massive stained glass window that dominates the western portion of the city, and it bathes the entirety of the building in a deep orange hissing sound, also light. Hey! Cat's fighting.
I figured.
Get down, get down. There are almost 24 different clerics in here. But the one that approaches you, beautiful, golden hair, pale skin, almost a radiant look to her, bright golden eyes, symbol of Haliel draped over a large hat, which she will approach. Welcome to the Cathedral of Halia. I am Tredora Goldenbrow. It is wonderful to let you bask in the light of our God. How might I help assist you?
Yes, thank you for allowing me to bask in the glory that is Haleo. I was wondering, is this a place of learning of the gods as well as a place of worship? Can I learn something of Halael, Amael, the gods themselves?
Many of our scriptures are dedicated specifically to Halia, though we allow worship of any deity in our halls. The pantheon of purity is always blessed.
I was wondering, would you might be able to help me research something, or would that be something I should ask someone else?
What would you ask to research?
I have this. I've heard this description of this woman in an older tale, one related to Amael. Kind of an elven-looking woman, ashen skin, red eyes, white hair. Is that something? Is there some sort of story of one like that?
She pauses for a moment. No. Although it sounds like you speak of a drow.
Yes. Are there any stories of any drow in the libraries here?
Well, there are a handful here or there. I believe the most famous of all the drow would have to be Shalenthal.
Shalenthal, you say?
A Dawnspire member. Or was.
Yes, I believe I've heard of her. Are there any stories related to her in here?
Not with Amael, no. Or not with... Not with Halia, no.
None at all, then. That's unfortunate.
No. The stories say that she worshipped Mithradel.
So the stories say. Do you know where I might learn more of this Shalenthal?
There's actually an apprehensive look to her face. We could teach you a little bit about her, at least as far as her history goes, but she is called the Betrayer these days.
Yes, I don't particularly enjoy the idea of her. I'm trying to learn more. I'm trying to get a fuller picture of history.
Perhaps not here. The Academy might have history lessons on them. But if I were going to learn about a Dawnspire member, there would be no better place to go than Marcera. Or the Dawnspire.
Yes.
If you could find it.
Well, I have a friend who might be able to help me. She's quite well versed in Dawnspire legend. But I suppose I can take a moment here and offer a prayer to Haliel as well as Amael.
Of course.
Right.
You're not making 2 religion checks.
I know that.
Inside of an hour.
That I'm aware. This is just me like passing time, not
Sure.
to be like super awkward. And I'm kind of curious how the clerics of Haliel do their thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn how to not fail at religion checks.
It's very much about light. The lights that they cast around their building almost leave no shadow at all. It's blinding in some instances, with the continual flames cast upon torches that are carried in every corner to blot out every shadow.
Internally, Tempest is thinking, like, this light is really bright. It's hard to see anything for it. Internally, yes. That's not an external thought. Externally, Tempest is like, oh, this place is lovely. I love it so much.
Of course.
Of course.
Okay.
And I'll make a mental note to talk to Core later.
Well, you will have the opportunity. As the rest of the Warforged are currently occupied at Shiv's Shanks, and the 2 nerds here are at the Academy. Roman, what are you doing?
As he sees them kind of start getting to work, he'll just ask, so since I'm kind of new here, Sotarian, is there any place I should check out where I can spend some coin on maybe something useful or just pass the time, as I'm not much of a whatever you guys are doing?
Well, if you would like to help train the militia, I bet they could use your help. If you just want to pass coin and spend money, there's always the inns. Or if you wanted to watch a play, go to Valorian's Playhouse.
All good options. I think I might
Roman.
Yes?
Sorry. Would you mind having to find Ruby in 24? I'm kind of locked down here for a bit.
Do we know
If you get a chance.
Do you mean the redhead?
Yes, we mean the redhead.
She left several weeks ago.
Did she leave a horse?
She went with us here. I think she left it at the Stone Wyvern.
You were 5 seconds from saying no, she didn't leave a horse, and 23 was gonna be like, "We're going after Ruby."
Nice.
Murder her.
23 is going to take the cloak and, like, throw it at Roman. Be like, here, take this. Find 24, please. You can have that.
Why do I want it?
It's a cloak of protection. Don't die.
Oh.
Somebody
I
walks
didn't
up to Roman. Achoo!
I don't know if you meant the cloak of protection or your bear cloak. That sounds
Look,
like
No, not my bear cloak. The cloak of protection. Go ahead and take that.
We're just worried about you, Roman.
Just clip it on and throw it around garishly. But I guess I'll take some time with this thing and get used to it. Hopefully, now I have to take off the wolf cloak. I'll have to make some decisions. But I'm going to probably just peruse the town, get used to see where we're going to be, fighting. So.
You can actually spend a couple of days carousing.
It's probably going to be like half carousing, half just taking in. So I know if I have to, someone tells me to go to a certain area of the town, I know where that is.
Sure.
Check out the market, see if there's fun stuff to buy.
Make an investigation check, just for the grunts.
Alrighty. Investigation. I'm great.
Look
Okay.
at you rolling like Tempest.
Okay. Let's admit you were probably doing all of this with a beer in your hand.
It's stopped a couple times.
All right. That will conclude anything else unless you guys wish to spend your downtime for the next 10 days.
Core would actually,
wow.
since Core isn't helping fix up 23 or anything, Core would actually be inspiring the troops and stuff like that,
Okay.
singing for them, speaking and stuff.
I'm also asking Core a question about Shalenthal.
Oh yeah.
Go for it. As you all gather one particular evening in the tavern.
That was it. I'm like, so Core, you know a lot about the Dawn Spire, don't you?
Couple of them, yes.
Do you know anything of a particular member known by the name of Shalenthal?
I remember her talking to Celia once or twice. They seemed good friends. I have a vivid memory of sitting on on my ship, and they're on the deck, talking, laughing, just hanging out with each other. I'm afraid I've never really had the chance to get to know Shalenthal, though.
Would you say she was a good person?
As far as I knew, yes.
Interesting. I'm having some difficulties connecting with Vasilia. And last time I tried, there was a woman, a drow it seemed, and from some of my investigations it felt like might have been Shalenthal kind of interrupting me.
I can't rightly say what you saw. If it was Shalenthal, perhaps she was guiding you?
All she did was splash me in the face and whisper to whisper, which I assume has some meaning, but I just can't figure it out.
Yes, I would not be the one to ask. Perhaps it's something you need to ask her yourself, or
Oh, you don't think I need to pray to Shalenthal, do
Oh
you?
God, no! Don't pray to her. She's not a god, as far as I know.
Did you think Basilia was a god? Because she's kind of one now.
I'm afraid I'm not in touch with that name as a goddess.
Oh,
so-
sorry.
Celia was gone before Core.
Okay, fair enough. I kind of assumed they were all things together.
Yeah, Basilia was gone before the second calamity ever happened.
Gotcha. Never mind. I wouldn't have said that then if I knew that. I'll be like, it's fine. I may need to go to the academy. I assume if we're all together, I'll just kind of be like, I may need to go to the academy. I think they know something potentially about her.
Well, I guess that would be the place to check on information about Shalenthal.
Well, are there any classes this week about ancient?
Or you could spend some time actually researching it. You would
I
have
mean,
advantage and a bonus to the check because you are in a library.
I mean, if that's possible at the academy, I will do that for my
You would
week
need
off.
an inn.
I mean, yeah.
Thankfully, you know some people that are there. But I think Reynard and Cerulean also have other downtime activities they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
I assume
Renard's
they're
going to be a
gonna be
busy boy. The first thing Renard needs to do is he's going to see if he can't recollect some of that money he spent investing on this. So he'll basically inform everyone of his plan. Once they settle on a location to fight the dragon, he is going to painstakingly go through and create 7 glyphs of warning that each have a protection of energy in them. So when we begin the fight against the dragon, we are all resistant to fire.
Smart.
And that is where 700 gold pieces of that went to.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Good job.
Girl.
Yeah.
It is a significant investment, and it will take him 3+ days to actually finish doing it.
Do you tell us this? Because I'll invest my
I'm
100 gold.
telling everyone this. Bernard is going to spend basically the next day making sure everyone knows this is his plan, so that we also settle on a location to fight the dragon, so he can start planning this.
I'll give you 100 gold for this.
Yeah, I'll also pitch in 100 gold there, Renard.
Yeah, that's a team cost right there.
Okay.
I like to imagine this conversation is happening while we're all gathered around a table where 23 is just lying on it and Sartarian's just destroying his insides.
I
At
assume we're
some
just
point,
having.
Numos is going to approach you, Reynard. You have a spell, I think, that will assist you in your battle against the dragon.
Imagine he's in the middle of like looking back and forth between protection from energy and glyph of warding, and like looking at battle sites. Yes, I remember you mentioned that, Numos. What was it? What were you wanting to show me?
As I'm double checking to make sure you can learn it.
Oh, dragon murder.
Oh, gee, that spells.
Power word dragon kill.
First level spell does 1,000 damage to all dragons.
He will hand you a scroll of a spell called Wall of Water.
Okay.
Well, of water?
Wall of Water.
Water
That's
of
good. That's smart, actually.
Wonderwall.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
I
Any
hate
creature
it.
that is exposed to it is a D100 of a random effect.
If you can anticipate the dragon's direction in its cone, you could have everybody set up behind this wall of water, and it will significantly reduce the damage. Sorry, wrong voice. It will significantly reduce the damage of the fire breath.
It's a concept. I was hoping I'd already prepared for that more often than not. Plus, there's going to be a lot of things that I have to be ready for in the fight.
Indeed. That is why this is also for you. And he will land you one more scroll. This may be a bit beyond you, but I think it might help you eventually. And the spell he is going to give you is a scroll of Wall of Force.
Ooh, that's a fancy one.
Damn. Just got handed that?
Yes, this is... I don't think I could use it right... Well, I could potentially use it right now, but that seems like it might be a waste unless we were all immediately about to die. But thank you, Numos. And thank you for coming up here to help as well.
He'll bow his head at that.
I met your friend in Bailiwick, by the way. Nikolai is still in good health.
Oh. Yes, I passed through there.
He's still doing well. We haven't been through there in, well, feels like months now.
Yes, I came up with Damon. I expressed concern that I could not reach you earlier. I was curious about your progress. My spell was rebuffed.
Yes, well, Wellspring is causing all kinds of trouble.
I have gathered this. The forces of magic are awry. Something is being done with the Wellspring. Something. I don't know what.
The Red Hand are the ones who have it.
I suspected as much. I am more curious what they are doing with it. What sorcery did they cast upon it?
Well, if I had to make a wild and educated guess, I would say a group of individuals that are horrible zealots that are devoted to an intense deity. There's only one reason they could need that much magic.
They're trying to break the divine gate.
They're trying to bring her over. Feels like something else.
Does it ever feel like fate? No.
I don't tend to believe in things like fate and destiny. It just feels like powers that be meddling in affairs and trying to do what they can to direct free will. And it makes me wonder who's messing with me.
I think you will find, my friend, that there are those who run away from destiny and only find themselves swallowed it whole. Those who evade destiny, where it eventually will catch up to them.
And those who stand here preparing glyphs of warning to face destiny head on because a fucking dragon is coming.
A dragon will always be coming. Or a moon, or a massive undead army, or the Silent Dark themselves. Every single threat that has ever come has been balanced with forces of good. Every time. I truly think that your group is destined for something special.
Yes, well, I have spent the past week trying to figure out battle plans to keep my allies from dying too easily, to being roasted by a dragon, to, without intention, unlocking an artifact and being present when a lich was returned its phylactery and allowed to regain free will. What have you spent with your past 10 days doing?
To be frank, not much.
Numos, I'm glad that I met you. You are a breath of sense and fresh air in a world of chaos and people who sometimes I wonder if they could find their asshole with their hands, both hands in a light spell.
Rude.
I feel like I've heard this saying before. I do not know what I've heard it, but I feel like I have heard this before.
That's fine. At least they're good people, and most often than not, their heads are in the right place.
Indeed. Oh, and a piece of advice when the battles come. Make liberal use of Fireball.
I don't know if I'm going to have enough magic after fighting a dragon for a single fireball.
I would find a way to make it work, my friend. And he will just casually flick a small stone in your direction. Or a pearl.
And I will take it and look at it with a queried eye.
Big pearl, about the size of a $50.
Did you just get a pearl of power?
Flair knows that, but Traynor doesn't. Actually, with an Arcana check, could I identify this?
It's a pearl of power.
Cool. Thank you, passive Arcana.
Fucking shit, Renard's getting presents!
Yes, apparently he is getting everything right now.
This might also aid another friend of yours.
Yeah. Could aid me, could aid Cerulean. It'll go to who needs it, I'll tell you that.
I used to use it in my adventuring days.
And how long ago was that, Numos?
Oh, I almost forgot. The redheaded woman left me a message for you.
May I take a guess? Was it something smarmy that still tried to somehow maintain a level of self-importance?
Oh, actually, she said she was going to try to infiltrate the Red Hand. She was going to find their fortress and infiltrate it.
Raynor just deflates a little bit. She did she?
Are we all there?
If she had waited a couple of days, we could have given her a code for the ciphers. And I can't tell if that's an admirable trade or thank you, Lumos. I appreciate the information.
I lied. She did something smarty, but I edited it for you.
I know.
And he will walk off.
Bernard will continue his preparations.
Okay.
Question. I assume Sortarian can't just work 10 days straight?
No, he has to sleep. He is not a Warforged.
Could I speed up the time that it takes to upgrade 23 by working through the night on him? And if not, could I use that time to build ammunition?
Make a Tinker's Tools check with your intelligence modifier.
Hey.
Right on a crutch.
Almost like I
Right.
have.
Yours is one low. Yours is one higher than Sortarian's. He's designed for it as a wizard.
Yeah.
Yes, you can work on him successfully without breaking him.
Okay. How much would that speed the process up if I work on him overnight?
You take it from a 10 day to 5 days.
Okay.
You
Could
know,
I use
Kevin,
that
we
next-
really have...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go on. We really haven't had time to talk in a while. You know, this is good. Just you and me, two buddies, hanging out.
Yes.
Your
It
hands
is
in my
convenient
chest.
that neither of us need sleep. It allows much more freedom of access to upgrade you quickly.
Yeah. Don't like make me blind or anything like that. That would be unfortunate.
As he flicks a switch, you.
I had not considered that. I will try not to. 23? Can you still see?
Yes, I can still see. Don't worry. It's fine.
Okay. After I end up finishing up with 23, then would I be able to make some specialized ammunition? Do I have the skill to do that?
What kind of specialized ammunition were you trying to make?
So I'd have to see if the dwarves are willing to part with black powder, but if
They're
they,
going to sell you to the same price they sold it to you. Try to sell it to you before.
what was that, 120 gold a barrel?
I think it was 120 gold a satchel and 500 gold a barrel.
How much?
Yeah.
How much was a barrel?
Kegs,
Okay.
small keg. I think it was a 10-pound keg.
I don't know what that means in terms of shots. Does it say how much I need per shot?
I do my math. I have to think.
Like what would a 10-pound barrel like equate to in terms of like mortar rounds or sniper bullets?
It'd be 5 mortar rounds, 15 bad news shots, and 30 musket shots. Or each of those is ore.
Right. I'd probably get one of those barrels.
Okay.
And I'd try and make 3 mortar rounds, so that would leave me with 6 bad news shots. Is that math correct? I think that math is correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any check I have to make for that, or am I just like passively good enough to just do
You're
that?
passively good enough to make that. Yeah.
Okay.
Ready to make them.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
so
not
I
really
would,
specialized ammunition. That's just ammunition. Okay.
I will add the. So I guess that would be what I would spend the rest of my time doing.
So the important question now: did I find 24, the horse?
You did.
All right.
10 days well spent.
Did you find Stormy too?
Your horses are fine. They are there. They have been fed. Ruby paid them almost 10 gold to the innkeeper to keep a track on them.
Damn.
I would probably spend the first day away and just kind of drink at the Stone Wyvern. I'm bored that my friends aren't there. So should anyone happen to stroll through, they probably would see me at a cards table with my sword point down so I can see the mirror, and then the horse probably in a nearby window and just playing cards with my not friends. And then probably after a day, I'd probably bust in a little inebriated, be like, "Hey, 23, look what I found!" And I just kind of like try and poke his head through.
Is it my boy? Is it my sweet boy?
He's really good at cards.
24 was always good at cards.
You guys had cards back in the day? They give...
Have you been drinking?
No. Yes.
Have you been drinking all of the ales they have left in town?
I don't think I could possibly do that.
Yeah, his constitution's lower.
Yeah.
Roman, you seem unusually drunk.
Yeah, I think it's either they got strong stuff or getting eaten by a behir makes you get drunk faster, so it's one of those things.
I feel like I haven't seen you this drunk since the time you decided you were going to break us out of a prison on a ship.
Yes.
I mean, fighting your friends, you got to get a little loaded before you can do that without crying a little bit,
No, you still cry.
Wow.
I love this moment. I love this moment so much.
I'm so happy this is happening.
It's such a sad movie. Like, you gotta fight. Like, we almost killed one of my friends. I just fought with him for like 10 years. You almost killed him. That was pretty bad. But I think he's good.
He'll live with the peg leg.
Peg arm.
Wow.
Come here.
Do I bring the horse inside? Sarah, can I bring the horse inside? It's not a Warforged horse, but it's a Warforged's horse.
There's really not room.
I could make it a Warforged horse.
No.
Oh.
Even though it's probably like something I get time to, I'm just gonna touch him on the chest. Like, you stay here, good boy. Like, hold on. I'll put Anari on his back. I'm like, you watch each other. Don't go anywhere.
Roman,
Yes.
take my hand. And I reach my hand out, like I'm dying on a table as I'm being worked on.
Take his hands. Both hands.
I promise to you, I will not let you die again.
Oh, that's sad.
I appreciate it. It might happen again. If it does, I want you to take my headband and you can take it home to Marcera for me, okay?
Who would I give it to in Marcera?
I can look for my dad.
It's your dad's name backstory.
It's the same as mine, except he has an SR.
Roman Sar.
Senior.
Gallo Senior.
Oh, Gallo. Oh, Roman.
Yeah.
I got it. That was Connor literally figuring that one out.
How very 23 of you.
Roman Sir.
I mean, you could call him sir. He's...
Romans.
Okay.
Such a curious trait.
Roman, sir? Roman?
Roman.
Rossmarn?
That was a beautiful moment.
He's Soman. I'm Roman.
Go take a nap, friend.
That was the plan.
Right.
While that happens, I'm gonna implore either Cerulean or Jesus, cat. Sorry, my cat's trying to kill me. Either Cerulean or Reynard to take me over to the academy to research things.
Renard will let you know how very busy he is.
I am too busy.
While telling you what his plans are and asking if you could cover that portion of the gold.
I hand over 100 gold and then look at Cerulean like, you wouldn't happen to be able to get me in there, would you?
Yeah, I can do that. You just gotta promise me one thing.
Yes?
Please don't steal anything.
I'm sorry. What?
And as you say that, you just hear Renard say, please don't steal anything, Tempest.
I'm not. I have never. Okay,
You also
there was
hear
the-
a from the dragon.
There was the one time I stole some blood, and everyone's assumed I'm gonna steal since then.
You stole blood?
You know what? We should go to the academy.